And now, here are your starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with the visiting Eudora Cardinals, led by head coach Brandon Parker. At forward, a 5'9" freshman, number 5, Peyton Lewis. At forward, a 5'7" junior, number 10, Bryn Dieterling. At guard, a 5'5" junior, number 12, Izzy Brunkow. At forward, a 5'7" sophomore, number 31, Jayla Coulter. And at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 13, Ava Dye. And now, your starting lineup for your Bonner Springs Lady Braves, led by head coach Peyton Leslie and assistant coaches Cody Scott, Michael Burris, and Cole Chambers, and assisted by head trainer Sarah Neri. At forward, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Emily Morton. At guard, a 5'5" senior, number 13, Lily Timlin. At forward, a 5'11" senior, number 21, Amaya At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 25, Chastity Sample. And at forward, a 5'11" senior, number 43, Meredith Billings.
All right, so you've got our starting lineups. I apologize. I thought that we were up there earlier. I thought we got through that whole pregame show on air. Turns out I had not properly hit the go live button, so now I'm in here. I can recap what I talked about here. I guess just talking to myself on the FSCC pregame show. It was an interesting one last time, a matchup that ended with Eudora Sports Live getting featured on KCTV5 because a referee fell and hit his head. It was an interesting circumstance there. They're normally not supposed to be the main event. Hopefully that it is not the case here tonight, that the officials are the main event. It was a 54-38 win for the Cards. They had a very solid performance. We said that maybe they struggled a bit in the first half, but just like always, despite that, you looked up at the scoreboard at halftime and they had 26 points, and they really turned it on in the second half, continued to be great defensively, added in a really solid offensive second half, and pulled out that 54-38 win as the Braves will take hold of the opening tip here at home for the Braves. And certainly you look at the records for these teams, 14-7 for these Braves at home, and the opening shot will go there for Amaya Burris to give the Braves the lead. Definitely this is a team that could potentially get a first win over the Cards within the Frontier League. They have still yet to drop one. In fact, in the last 2 years, they have not dropped a game within the Frontier League, but this Braves team certainly, especially at home, could be the first team to try and do that. But the Cards come in having won 8 straight. They have been flying high. They are well on their way to repeating as Frontier League champions. Might the Braves have something to try and stop them here? 5 on the shot clock. They need to get one off soon here. It's going to maybe be a 3-point shot here. Put up and no good. Not far off, but Chastity Sample could not get that one to go. She had 11 points this first time, and Dieterling will give the Cards the lead. Braves being meticulous here with the ball. That one towards Morton. She couldn't get the handle on it. Coulter comes away with it. Lewis drives, scores. It'll be an and one. The freshman in the starting 5. She put up 14 the first time around. Billings, the senior, hit with the foul. 7-3 is our score here. I'll work on that scoreboard when I get the chance, but the Cards are up here. The Cards have made a habit of beating teams very comfortably, regardless of how strong their record is coming in. The Braves again under pressure of the shot clock here, and this time they just give it away. And going up and scoring her first points will be Ava Dye. So the first basket of the game went to the Braves, but it has been all Cardinals since. And it will stay that way. That shot no good. And another one good for the Cards. Coulter gets that one. And we've got a timeout here. We'll go ahead and take one ourselves here as well.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong?
All right, now we've got that scoreboard sorted out for you out of the Braves timeout. It is already 11-3 Cards. The Braves got the first basket of the game. And it has been 11 points for the Cards since. Morton couldn't get that one off. She was ejected last time these two teams met with consecutive technical fouls. And you probably know the rest of the story if you tuned in to KCTV 5 or that game, or you're one of the 41,000 viewers of that archived live stream,
or a couple
6
million more.
Yeah, on Twitter. Or
I want to say
X.
around 12.
It's,
or any local news outlet in Kansas City.
Yeah. It was a very interesting one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back, check out that live stream, or look up the
Eudora and Bonner Springs will bring up most of what you need to see.
Hopefully we don't have the officials taking the center stage here again tonight. The Braves looking for their second basket of the game and still cannot get it. Amaya Burris's three, the only points, and the Cardinals since then have gone on a 13-point run. Lewis with 5 of those points.
Yeah, these Lady Cards have that kind of tendency to them. The fast starts are always nice, but not necessarily something that they require to win games. On the contrary, they've actually been really good at winning without it to this point in the season. And the defense getting really aggressive there. Dieterding, per usual, making her presence felt defensively on the floor. I always appreciate this press box setup. It's always a good area for us. The nest up here gives us a nice top-down view of everything going on.
Trying to attack the paint. Teams know against the Cardinals that's always going to be difficult. Coulter, though, shut down by Morton. Still be a Cardinals ball, but a good defensive effort by the 5'11 senior.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Jayla Coulter, not an easy player at all to deny us. She's running down court.
And that inbound play that typically works for the Cards, I would say the play part did work, but the finish no good from Dye. Can the Braves finally end this Cardinals run of scoring? This is Burris and now Samble in for Thompson.
Defensive pressure from the Cards is such a big part of it. You almost feel like you need to pull up from 3 if you're the Braves.
Here's
That's
Chastity
what they'll do.
Samble, no good. And fighting over the loose ball, it will be a Cardinals possession. Morton touching that one last on the way out. It's interesting, Hayden, already early in this game, the Braves have really taken their time offensively, and for the most part, they've moved the ball well, but they've actually let the shot clock run down on them and forced them into some mistakes early. You can see they've got an idea here, but already the Cardinals have hit them really hard, moving fast, but they're going to try and probably want to stay methodical. It just has not worked for them so far, and this run is going to keep going for the Cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the main strengths of this Cards defense really is being so good at pressuring you early on that you either force yourself to go too quick early on in the possession and make a mistake, or they play such good defense that you wait, and then you need to take a shot that is off schedule. It's just so beautifully done from this defense. They rarely ever get caught in a situation where the offense feels favorable about it.
Morton grabs that one under the basket, draws a shooting foul off of Coulter, so to the line Emily Morton goes. She only was able to get 1 point in before being removed from the ball game last time these teams met.
And Morton going to have an opportunity to snap what I believe is a 15-point consecutive run for the Cards. First shot will not do that.
Couple players for Eudora go in, Avery Warren, Carly Owens.
Speaking of Avery Warren, one of the Cards players featured on a Sports in Kansas interview, I believe yesterday or earlier today.
And this run will continue for the Cards, unanswered from the Braves.
Which is really so tough if you're the Braves, mainly because, again, this Cards offense is just not one you're going to catch flat-footed very often. They do miss on that possession. That's a basket that goes in probably about 90 of 100 times. An unfortunate bounce there, and Cards defense holds taut here. And these Cards come in 17-2, ranked second in the state of Kansas by some organizations and polls at that record. The only two have come earlier in the season. You'd know the streak better than I would, Reed, but
we've got 8 straight at this point.
We're over.
Is it up to 17? Straight. I've got 16 on my screen here. That does not mean that that's the gospel truth. Is it up to 17?
That's what I saw in the interview earlier. Of course, not a whole lot that we know is official, but we are past 15 wins for the Cards, and it's been over a month since they lost one.
Well, I was also seeing on the Keisha website, I couldn't find any further, or I wasn't able to get the chances. Dye drains that one. I might have to at the next time we get a break. But according to the Keisha website, the most recent Bonner Springs game, they won 58-2. I have a hard time believing that one. I think that might just have been a score not fully entered, but maybe that is the case because it is verified on the Keisha website. I'll look into that one. That just felt pretty improbable to me, but certainly the Braves coming off of a strong win. There's going to be an offensive foul there. Nia Anderson, no. I think they're hitting Warren with that one.
For first personal.
Coulter will go in. The Braves took the lead in this game with the first basket, have not done anything since, including a couple misses at the line. This Cardinals defense just being so aggressive. The Braves have tried to be meticulous, tried to be intentional, but the Cards making that extremely difficult. And it seems like the Braves' only chance forward might be the three-point shot, how they got their first basket, but they don't want to do that. They want to try and get higher percentage shots closer down. But here we are once again under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson pulls up, no good. A great rebound though, and still cannot get that one to go. Man. And Warren gets the rebound and then gets fouled by Addison Thompson, who will be kicking herself for missing that one.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, you never want to rely on the threes, never want to look at that as your only way back into the game. But also you're down by 14 at this point, so you've got to feel like, hey, we've got to take those shots. Even if it's not fully the game plan, you can't be afraid to pull up and take those, especially because that's kind of the only way Eudora's giving them room right now.
Dye came out holding her ribs as the Braves call a timeout. We'll go ahead and take a quick break as well.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Back in out of the Braves timeout. They've already called a couple here in this first quarter, but you can't really blame them because their coach is looking at his team giving up a 17-point run, Coach Peyton Leslie. And it seems like it could only get worse at this point. The Cards holding on to possession. They've moved the ball very well. We've seen this out of them recently. They've started games even better than they were doing early in the season, which is just unbelievable as Lewis can't get that to go. The Cards were winning games repetitively by being a second-half team, and now they've seemed to turn into a full game team where they are just dominant from the tip-off, and that is how it is playing out right now. And again, just they've seemed to make a habit out of taking teams with strong records like these 14-7 Braves and just making them look silly, which made it so interesting. The game that the Baldwin Braves gave to the Cards last time we saw them, that was one of the better performances we've seen. It was from a team with a pretty bad-looking record. Excuse me, was that Lewisburg?
I believe it was Lewisburg.
With a pretty weak record, yeah.
Yep, I believe they were a 4-win team. Yeah.
And they gave the Cardinals a decent little run for a while there.
Shot clock winding down here, under 5 now for the Braves.
Nia Anderson hands this one off. Need to get it off. I think they might have run out of time. They're going to let it count. Wow. So the first basket of the quarter and the last basket of the quarter are threes from Amaya Burris, but there were 17 Cardinal points sandwiched in between. They've got an 11-point lead as we head to the second.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, back in here out of the first quarter break as the Cards lead here by 11. They scored 17 unanswered. Amaya Burris trying to fight back. She had 14 points when these teams first met. She's got 6 tonight, but is the only scorer for the Braves here at home. We were saying in pregame, this feels like a team certainly capable of being the first Frontier League in almost 2 years to beat the Cards. But right now, not a hot start for them. They're not so far away thanks to those 2 threes. But it feels like the play out there, they have looked far off from the Cards. But that only counts for so much. The points are really what matters at the end of the day, and it's within reach with so much time to go. And in the paint here, a short opportunity, no good for Addison Thompson. They've gotten her there a couple times, but she has yet to convert. Here's Dieterding wanting a 3. No good. The rebound effort still loose, and ended up Chastity Sample comes up with it, but a Braves player stays down. That's Addison Thompson, the 5'11 senior. She'll get back to her feet here, but definitely not feeling great. Some scattered applause, and they will go ahead and sub in Meredith Billings, who was in the starting 5, another 5'11 senior. There are 7 seniors listed on this Braves roster. Makes sense why they've been able to win so many games this year when you've got that much seniority on your squad. See what Billings can do. Getting back out there, had the starting 5 nod. Here she will get the ball. Again, not rushing themselves. Samble will pull up for 3 off the glass. So all 3 baskets for the Braves have been 3s, and all of a sudden they are within 8.
And as you said, you don't want to rely on it, but the Braves have kind of done just that.
Well, that's all the
heavily
cards
on
are giving them right now.
Well, and when you're able to execute on it, like you said, they've cut what looked like an insurmountable deficit down to just a few possessions here.
And they're going to give it away. Samble again swipes that one. Another senior for this Braves squad.
And the other upside, they're
Sliding
going to
it
pull
up
from 3.
again, and no good that time from Burris. She couldn't hit her 3rd.
Well, the other upside to hitting well from 3 is if they're able to hit, I'd say 1, definitely 2 more. You would have space to work inside the paint a bit more, and that one unfortunate from Lewis. That one goes in. Most of the time was inside the rim at one point. It does not go for the Cards.
Once again, you see the patience from these Braves. They really are not rushing themselves against the Cards. Mid-range shot, no good from Burris. They get it back though. Billings off the bench. Couldn't get that. Morton with the putback, still no good, still loose. Now Dieterding has it. She has 2 teammates in support, but she will pull up herself and get it.
Basket by Bryn Dieterding.
Cards doing something well that we've seen them do for quite a while, which is respond well when a team starts to get on a little bit of a run against them. The defense hasn't been hyper aggressive for the Cards, but they've done a good job being stout enough to get possessions back like that and then get the points they need to get. They keep themselves out of danger the majority of the time in these spots.
Coulter, and 1.
Basket and 1 by Jayla Coulter.
She had 13 the first time. She's got 5 already.
Falls on Meredith Billings. Her 2nd personal. Coulter at the line, shooting 1.
And as you mentioned to me, this one of those teams undoubtedly where, kind of on the guys and the girls side, anyone can have a big night, especially any of these ladies on the floor for the Cardinals right now. It's just a matter of who that player is going to be a lot of the time. The and 1 does not go for Coulter, but she's certainly one of those players who's capable of having that kind of firework night.
Oh, unfortunate there, stepping out of bounds there for the Braves. That was Burris. Now they're going to halt things, and re-entering Addison Thompson. Some applause from the fans recognizing that the good news that she's able to return back out there. Some decent movement there, but Dye hadn't set her feet. The Cards have, it's nothing new, but the Cards have had a few empty offensive possessions, but they have added to it some strong defense. And the Braves have decided they want to come in and game manage here and run down a lot of the clock, so we might see a lower scoring one. That being said, though, the Cards have a great tally for this point in the game. Here is Thompson. Morton tries to get it into Samble. Dieterding won't let it happen, and then they collide chests. Dieterding went down in a heap, but able to get back up. Now holding her knee, it looks like. I thought it was an upper body collision. Might have been whole body collision there. She's going to try and carry on.
Who knew basketball could be a contact sport?
It's supposed to be.
True enough. Suppose just because we don't see it all the time. Certainly a part of the game.
Lewis, double step there, hit for the travel.
I do like the ball movement for the Cards quite a bit. It's been very, very coordination-centric. It's been very based on, I'm going to trust that my teammate is going to be in this spot at this moment where they're supposed to be. And of course, the Cards, such a well-coached team under Brandon Parker that it's rare that somebody isn't where they're supposed to be when the Cards are in phase, and it's made for some really crafty shots tonight.
Burris looks to Samble. There's going to be a foul on Peyton Lewis.
Fouls on Peyton Lewis, the first personal.
Can they get something off this inbound here? Maybe look for their first 2-point basket, but no, they go for the long inbound. get over the full Cardinals defense. So here is Samble, and another foul, this time on Dieterding. Third team foul against Eudora.
Falls on Bryn Dieterding.
Another chance here to maybe try and get something off this short inbound, but the Cards crowding the paint. They don't want any easy baskets. Samble does get it. Some space for Thompson to go up, and maybe came out of the hand early there, and then last touch by a Brave. Cards ball.
Cards do such a good job in those situations too, defensively. Part of it's putting the pressure on, part of it's the good execution, but the amount of teams that we've seen set up a successful scoring playoff inbounds is kind of few and far between.
Really haven't even seen many of those opportunities for Cardinals opponents. Here's Dieterding, denied there by Thompson. Shuts that one down cleanly. And then Samble draws a foul, 4 already against Eudora. This time it's Coulter, her second.
And plenty of life here for the Braves based on signs and how they're playing. You're just not seeing a ton of it coordinate to the scoreboard yet. And with those signs, you of course expect that the execution cleans up and you start to see it on the scoreboard, but against a team like this, you certainly don't want to take long for that to hit. And the Cards defense
swipes that one away from Burris. Now in a 1v2, she'll just pull up mid-range, got it. She decided not to go against those two defenders that were crowding the paint. I'll just shoot it over top of you.
And that's been one of the biggest strengths she's had on this entire season, which has been a great season even by her standards. Taking the ball away, switching phase quickly from defense to offense, and then scoring on those jumpers, which she pulls up from all the time, looks really comfy at it.
Nia Anderson threw that one up, didn't get it. Thompson off the glass, finally has her first basket. If the Braves can get her going, they will feel pretty decent about their chances to get some more points up on the board. She's had a couple chances. What a finish by Coulter on the other side. She is up to 7 points. That basket from Thompson was the first non-3-point shot,
but of course
made
the Cards
by
immediately
the
counter
Braves.
it.
And no one there for the Braves able to corral it. And Morton was there, but couldn't get it in. And then an and one for Ava Dye.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
She has already bested her tally from the first time. She had 5. She already has 6 as she goes to the line with the and one. Thompson hit with that foul, her second and the team's third. Feels like play has slowed down a lot here in the second quarter. The first quarter was eaten up largely by the Braves holding on to the ball, but fouls have really slowed down this last couple minutes of game clock.
Yeah, which I don't think that's a bad thing for the Braves at all. Not necessarily something the Cards will complain about, but for the Braves, time slowing down a little bit, giving them a little more time to breathe has definitely not hurt them in a lot of ways.
No, they've been the one being fouled most often. One more would send them into the bonus.
They've had their fair share, of course, up to 3 as well, but I would say overall a pretty successful quarter in terms of how those fouls have played out for the Braves.
Samble can't get it, and the rebound is Mulvihill. Brooke Mulvihill, we saw her get into the third quarter of the last game. She's a first half sub in this game now.
And those threes, the kind of shots that feel really instrumental to the Braves right now. Another opportunity at it here. The Cards defense is given nothing easy tonight, Reed.
Warren got a hand in on that one. It was also just an errant pass, but give some credit to Warren, who popped it to Mulvihill, and then Lewis will draw a shooting foul. To the line she goes. That's a 4th foul on Bonner.
That's the big difference I'm seeing with the fouls right now. Has just been how these teams have capitalized on those opportunities, especially from the line. Haven't been a ton of them, but the Cards have done a really good job of getting the points that they're offered, and Braves have struggled with it a little bit more.
Wow, with that foul, Meredith Billings, the senior, one of the seniors in the starting 5, is already up to 3 fouls.
Wow.
We haven't seen a lot of her presence in the game, but I guess maybe that may stay the case, already being up to 3 fouls. They would not like to lose anyone. Lewis hits 1, so she's 2 of 3 in the game and up to 6 points. And the Cards will take their first time out. Go ahead and take a quick break as well.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking?
Back out of Coach Parker's timeout. The Cards have now taken a new biggest lead in this game, up by 18. They had that huge run, 17-point run, and were able to get out to a really big lead, but it shrunk back down to 8, and it is now up to 18 here. Nia Anderson off the glass, no good. They got that short range opportunity, something they've been working hard for.
Yes.
And just can't convert it, and it's not the first time.
No, that's been a big sting on the night for the Braves, without a doubt, is they got the opportunity and almost a really nice scoring shot there. Warren fighting through a lot of contact.
Just knew where Dieterding was, and she just pulled up
from way
under no
out of the
pressure
way.
from the shot clock, just decided she liked that opportunity.
Didn't go, but the place would have lit up if it did. No, that's going to be a sting point for the Braves tonight, as they're going to look into the
tries
paint.
to float that one for Burris, and it will still be their ball on the inbound.
And that's the point that hurts me is, you know, the Braves were taking advantage of some of those threes, especially the one from Amaya Burris right before the end of the first quarter, as an opportunity to give themselves a little breathing room in the paint. And they got the opportunity, and as you said, they've just really struggled to get anything out of it. Kind of still feels like they think threes are their only opportunity.
Anderson out for Samble. Nice step to get Lewis out of the way. Can't finish. Gets the rebound, though, against 4 defenders. Was looking for an and one or a shooting foul, but the call did not come. We're now under a minute to go here. Owens to Warren to Dieterding.
I expect the Cards to run quite a bit of clock down here if the scoring opportunity's there. Dieterding thought she had it.
Dieterding draws a shooting foul. She can add to her 10-point day.
Fouls on Lily Kimlin, her first personal. Bryn Dieterding at the line, shooting 2.
Shot number 2 from Dieterding rolls out, and she's going to go 2 for 2 from the line on this trip. That'll leave us at just under 27 seconds left to go here in the first half. Braves find themselves in a 20-point hole here.
Here is Amaya Burris. She's drained a couple threes. Will she maybe try and get one? No. Anderson with the floater, no good. Will the Cards rush to try and add something on here? They certainly don't have to. Mulvihill. Brunkow will go up for it and drop it in. Grabs her first couple points. The Cardinals relentless. They take a 22-point lead into the halftime break.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, halftime show brought to us by Attic Storage of Eudora. They offer climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, and clean, move-and-ready spaces. They are veteran-owned and community-focused and feature monitored 24/7 access with friendly on-site managers. Go rent, reserve, and pay online at any time at attic-storage.com. So, an interesting first half there. The Braves got the first basket of the game, but then the Cardinals really went on a strong run there, scoring 17 straight. The Braves then did get a little bit of fight back, but the Cards find themselves tripling up their hosts at this point. They've got a nice 22-point lead. They've got to be feeling good about how this one has gone so far. Hayden, what did you see in that first half?
Yeah, I mean, resilience from the Cardinals is the name of the game in a lot of ways here for me, because even when they don't start the hottest, which they did start hot today, but throughout the entire game, every little opportunity the Braves have had to try to claw back into this game, pull a bit closer, get a run going, the Cards have very quickly kind of stomped that out and said, all right, we're going to grab our own quick layup, we're going to hit a three, we're going to, get a good inbound and score quickly off it, we're going to take it away on defense. They've been so good at neutralizing all of the runs and opportunities, which that's not to say the Braves haven't had a lot of opportunities. They have actually had plenty of them where the Cards had, left little cracks in the armor and opportunities for the Braves to get points out of the situations, and they've failed to capitalize. So it's really been a double-edged sword for me. The Cards have done a good job to minimize the opportunities they've given the Braves, and they've also benefited a little bit from the Braves not punishing them as much as they maybe could. But Cards are the better team here, and they're playing like it for sure.
Yeah, if I could make an adjustment for the Braves, I would really want them to start pulling up from three more. I know that it would not go extremely well. They would still miss shots, and then they would not be able to get rebounds despite as hard as they would try, because this Cardinals team is so aggressive to any loose ball. But I just think that's the only way back into getting any points, because they've really tried hard to break down the Cards, and it just doesn't work. And then the worst part is a couple times they've been able to do it and still not scored. And so really then you got to ask, what are we even working for here? If this isn't, if all that we want is the layups and we're not even hitting them when we get them, then why are we even trying for that? We've drained 3 threes in this game, making up the large majority of their 11 points. So just be willing to miss a shot and pull up from way downtown rather than, if they're just going to hold on to the ball, eat clock, and then not even be able to get off the shot they like or score when they get it, they're just going to be holding on to the ball until they lose by a pretty large margin. And it does seem like that's going to be what we're on track for regardless, but I would just like to see some more fight back in terms of trying to score some more points and pull up from three, even if it's not something they're comfortable with. Maybe they get some more reps tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I think at this point in the game, you're almost looking away. You're focusing less on risk versus reward, what's going to get us the most points, what's going to win us the game. You're just looking more at what's going to consistently work and what gives us the best opportunity to just score and minimize how much clock we're running. Because when you're down by this much, those are your two main priorities. Of course, scoring points and preventing the Cards from scoring their own, and not chewing a ton of clock while you're at it. Like you said, they've kind of done the worst of it, especially in that second quarter, where they held onto the ball a lot and they ran a lot of clock, but you had very little progress towards getting to the Cards' number. If they're able to clean that up, that's going to be really big in the second half, but it's a tall task.
Yeah, the Lady Cards have got a sizable lead here. Not a new story for them this season. They look to try and win 9 straight and stay undefeated inside the Frontier League. We've got 3.5 minutes before second half. We'll go to another break on this Attic Storage of Eudora halftime show.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Hey, I'm Mike Grope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright. Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do. And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go!
All right, second half underway here. Cards up sizably. At this point, we said maybe we could see the Braves pull up from 3 more, but at the same time, I was watching them warm up there. It's not something that's a comfortable shot for them, and that's been very clear by the fact they don't really want to take those opportunities. It's just the only reason I say it is not because I know that they're going to make a bunch, but just because it's really the only thing the Cards are giving them. And instead, if they're going to keep moving it like this, there's nothing wrong with it, but the Cards, the more you pass it, the more the Cards might swipe it. And again, they're under pressure of the shot clock, so they still have to pull up from 3. Anderson, no good. Creates an opportunity for Thompson, but because Anderson's shot did not hit the rim, the shot clock still expired there. And so even look, they were still trying to move the ball around. The Cardinals really shut down all the different lanes.
Yep.
And so then they still had to end up shooting a 3, and I don't think that that's something Anderson is particularly comfortable with. At least you could give it to Samble or Burris, who have been decent from 3, if it's something that they were to try and commit to. But I'm not the coach. This is just what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and against a really good defense like this in Eudora, sometimes the only opportunity you really have is to take what they're giving you and just do the best you can with it. And that, as you said, is really the only thing that the Cards have been content letting the Braves try tonight.
Dye will go to the line. She is 1 of 1.
Her second personal. Ava Dye at the line, shooting 2.
Grabs the first point of the second half.
Just speaks to the Cards again, their tendency here to do a really good job taking the points they're given. And right as I say it, second one goes no good for Dye, so she remains 50% from the line for the day.
We saw quite a few fouls from the Cards
that
as
one just
goes
straight off
through the hands of Burris. She was maybe more focused on the shot, the idea of that shot.
Yep.
We saw quite a few fouls from the Cards at the middle of that second quarter, but they ended up avoiding letting the Braves go into the bonus. Dieterding can't get that to go, and then a strong rebound by Samble. That slowed things down quite a bit. We've only seen 1 foul thus far through a minute and a half, and there's a nice shot.
Nicely done.
Nia Anderson grabs her first couple points.
I was expecting that one to bounce out and was almost going to be critical of the decision to charge straight into the paint with 3 Cardinals there, but Anderson makes it work out pretty well.
Only their second 2-point basket to go with 3 threes.
See, our point of driving home 3 so much is not for nothing. It has been still, to this point in the fourth quarter now, the majority success shot for the Braves.
Are we in the fourth?
It says fourth.
The board says the fourth. No,
we just came back from halftime.
This is our third quarter.
This is the third quarter.
The screen says third. The broadcast board in the stadium here says fourth. That's why you got tricked there. You're good.
Yeah.
Anderson sent to the line here. They are still 0-4 at the line as a team now 0 of 3. And they will remain scoreless there. Another one of those, if you're going to be working into the paint, you might be looking to try and draw shooting fouls. But again, if you're going to struggle from those as well, I don't know. There's an interesting giveaway from Dieterding. Thought she had a teammate there. There was no one really near. Samble took that one away. Here's Burris.
Looked like one of those rare miscommunications from the Cards. Passing around. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Anderson gets a bit of a pick from Thompson. Now finds Morton. And Burris sets her feet. Thought about the shot.
And they got so much perimeter space a lot of the time. It's kind of questionable you keep driving into the paint.
Goes for a long 2, no good. And a good rebound by Anderson against Lewis off the glass, still no good. Last by Dieterding, so a Braves inbound. And they will send Carly Owens back out there for Jayla Coulter.
See how quickly the Cards defense is moving here. They go through spurts of being very aggressive. Braves are going to move it back out.
Samble off the side of the glass, no good. And Dye's going to work quickly down court. Has Lewis in support, and she does a great job to protect the ball and then finish up to 8 points for her.
And it's been a stark contrast tonight how much it's looked like the Braves have struggled on those breaking court transitions and how phenomenal the Cards are at it.
And then a carry there by the Braves gives that possession away. The screen in the stadium now says that it's the 6th period of the game, Hayden. So
okay. I would hope I wouldn't call it the 6th.
We're in double overtime here. Dieterding from way downtown, no good.
She's feeling fairly comfortable, you'd
Anderson
think.
lost her footing under some pressure from Owens. Dye comes up with it. Bounce pass finds Owens. Now Lewis steps right. Moving the ball well. They've got plenty of time on the shot clock, but they are still wanting to move quickly. The shot turns into a pass that finds Owens. Dieterding finds Dye, who scores.
And that loop around the perimeter that the Cards have gotten so comfortable with, from Lewis to Owens to Dieterding, who then completes that left arc, going to a usually wide open Ava Dye over there.
Even when there were a couple mistakes in there for the Cards, they still never fell out of system. They were decisive for what's next, and they were able to get that basket. It feels, though, for here's Sample pulling up, no good. It feels for the Braves like a lot of times they feel like they're improvising. Like they're thinking, oh man, what am I going to do now from this position? Oh my goodness,
that went in. It didn't count, but really impressive shot from Dieterding as she was falling to her feet. Falling off her feet.
Her first person.
For the Cards, though, they always have a plan. That speaks to coaching, but then also cool heads for those players out there on the court.
For sure.
They know what they're going to do next. Any opportunity, how they're going to fight defensively, what they're going to do offensively. They just know what the plan is at all times.
And that's a big part of why they don't ever look phased if they start behind, too, because even outside of knowing how capable you are at scoring, always knowing what the plan is helps. And Lewis pulls up from 3, and that one does not go.
Cards up 25. This one goes to Thompson. She's able to get it at the second time.
Cards defense is opting for that quick, aggressive approach again, leaving a little bit of space, but not much for the Braves here.
Burris under 10. Sample will pull up, and no good. A strong rebound by Morton, who's denied by Dye, who's also able to snag possession, but then loses it. Anderson with an opportunity, and she will take it.
Very nicely done.
So now we've seen 3 threes for the Braves, which were their first 3 baskets, and now 3 consecutive 2-point field goals for the Braves. That one slapped off the hand of Sample and out of bounds.
And Reed, for as much of the halftime break as you and I talked about, wanting to see the Braves try some more of those threes, I feel like we can't take a whole lot of issue with the way they've approached this third quarter, because they have tried a lot of them. You said with that strategy, you're going to miss shots. You're going to have a lot that don't go. Still a fair bit of clock is run off. Nicely done.
Through some contact as well. She's up to double digits.
Dieterding got a hand of that one, broke it up, and she'll take it the other way now.
There is Dieterding under some pressure from Anderson. Lewis hits it.
3-pointer by Peyton Lewis.
The freshman's got 13.
And just like that, the Cards now find themselves knocking right on the door of a 30-point gap. Here with almost a quarter left to go.
No good, but it goes back to Burris, and the second time of asking. She's got 8 points for her team. All of a sudden, a little bit of a decent run of scoring here for the Braves. Dye falls down, but able to hold on to possession. Upset there was no foul call. Cards still with the ball. Warren finds Dieterding, finds Paydirt.
Wow.
3-pointer by Brent Dieterding.
And again, usually speaks to how comfortable a player's feeling when they shoot from 3 that far out, that consistently. And Brent Dieterding has tried it no less than 3 times tonight. And that one goes.
For second personal.
Peyton Lewis was fouled there. Her second of the night, also the second of the third quarter for the Cards. And with that, Lewis and Dye will come out to some applause.
Pulling up, Amaya Burris. High arcing shot goes.
Amaya Burris.
She's far and away the team leader with 11 points and puts her squad up to 20. Meanwhile, Owens off the bench chips in with a couple. I said Mulvihill. Was that Mulvihill there? Was that Mulvihill?
Looked like 15 to me. I believe it was Mulvihill. It was either Owens or Mulvihill with that point. For a little clarity on it.
Fouls on Meredith Billings. Her 4th personal.
Billings now, as Reed mentioned earlier in the starting 5, her 4th personal foul now. Puts her in foul trouble for certain. Under 30 to go now here in Q3. Cards have now fully transitioned into let's run some clock, let's slow things down, let's not make mistakes. Kind of quintessential third quarter form for them.
Dieterding was looking to try and get that to Mulvihill. This one, though, is going to roll out of the hands of Anderson. Nifty play by Warren to keep it in. Dieterding lobs it up. It'll be a 28-point lead for the Cards as we head to the fourth.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Back in here, the fourth quarter in the home of the Braves. 8 minutes to go. If the Cards hit that 30-point lead, we will see the running clock come into play at this fourth quarter. They initiated it last game and got to send in quite a few players for some extra minutes off the bench. See if it gets late early here. Already feels that way, and Lewis looks to make it to try and get what would have been a 31-point lead, but does not get that to go. Nia Anderson will drive into the paint and then pass out looking to Lillian Kimlin. Senior that was in the starting five tonight, went right through her hands. Here is Bryn Dieterding. Cards still have the starting five out there. Coulter hands it off to Dye. Dieterding all by herself, hits it.
Oh my goodness, beautiful sequence right there from Eudora. Even through a little bit of struggle in the paint, tight defensive coverage does not matter at all. These Cards are able to pull off their play designs through just about any kind of traffic.
Yeah, same thing I was saying before, where they just always have a plan. Even when something definitely goes a little bit wrong, does not matter. They know what they want to do next.
Well, and the craziest part about that is they don't find themselves, quote, out of structure very often, even in the scenarios where you'd expect them to go off platform.
Anderson for three, no good. Loose ball still being fought over, and that's going to be a foul on the senior Kimlin.
So it'll remain Cards ball. That is kind of unique to these Cards. Usually when you see a pass go wrong or a ball be mishandled, you see the team kind of go out of structure and everything turns into chaos. For these Cardinals, likely because their play calls are so structured, something goes wrong and you see them very quickly shake it off, get right back into position. We're just going to work with what we have again.
We do have that running clock at this point of the game. Cards have also surpassed their quote-unquote magic number 50, though they did not need that tonight. Their defense has been so spectacular. Samble will drive, and she will draw a shooting foul. Maybe she can try and remedy the 0 for 4 as a team that the Braves have been at the line.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. You'd love to not walk away scoreless from the line, even though the ratio not going to look great regardless. Just trying to get points on the board from this spot would be a moral victory if nothing else, and the first one does go. The scoreless streak from the line is snapped here in the fourth quarter.
Samble was able to put up 11 this first matchup, but has only been held to 4 thus far tonight. Anderson gets it to Billings, and Billings gets her first points. Able to work their way into the paint. Only been able to do that maybe 4 times this game and convert for it.
Yeah, really nice put in. Still against the Eudora starting 5 as well, so Nothing given for free here, certainly. This Cards team not one to let off the gas late in the game.
Lewis will, let's see, will they call it a shooting foul? She was going up, but no, because she ended up passing, they will say it's a foul on the floor.
Her first personal.
And now the Cards
looks like almost
will send
close
in
to a floor change for the Braves.
Mulvihill, Owens, and Warren. Still have Brunkow and Coulter from the starting 5 out there. Warren. Here is Brunkow setting up the 3 and couldn't get it on the second bounce. Mulvihill with a nice rebound. Owens. Owens again drives and maybe lost the handle on that one. It'll stay a Cardinals ball. And they will send now in Sarber. She will grab Coulter.
And now over halfway through this fourth quarter. Of course, a lot of personnel change for both teams in the last 30 seconds or so.
I was only in here for the end of the JV game, but I saw Sarber hit a 3 in that one. She's definitely dangerous from range. Here she is, the first touch in this game. This one will get to Warren despite a touch from Nia Anderson. Here is Sarber, lines up that 3, and that one comes up short though. Burris into Thompson against Mulvihill, and it's an and one for Thompson. Very nice for one of the seniors for this Braves squad.
And Thompson, she's already had some really nice put-ins in the paint tonight. As you mentioned, that has not happened a lot for the Braves at all. But she's been one of the more capable Lady Braves from that spot.
Now they send out Folks and Kylie Bourne.
Addison Thompson at the line, shooting 1.
And Thompson is up to 5 points, good for second most on this Braves squad. This is Kylie Bourne, the 5'5" sophomore. Gets it to Sarber, another sophomore. She stands 5'10". Spellman, 5'4" sophomore. And that one given away. Samble comes away with it, driving against the defender for the Cards, goes up, misses. Morton, though, gets her first basket.
Emily Morton.
Nicely done on the effort here from the Braves. Of course, playing no longer against starting 5 players on the floor for the Cards, but they've done a nice job to rattle off some baskets and pull this one in a little bit closer on the scoreboard. And really meaningful, good time for the Cards players out on the floor right now as well. Again, meaningful varsity minutes. Any are meaningful, truly, for these players who are able to get into some varsity time.
Well, and they treat it that way.
Yes.
Every opportunity they treat like it's their last, which is such an amazing thing to see. They don't go through the motions. And so that's the same of the starting 5, which is really a fantastic compliment to them because they have deserved the right to go through the motions at some point and never do.
Yeah, that's the mark of a spectacular team a lot of the time, but certainly a spectacular attribute. As Samble pulls up.
That was Sarber there.
Sarber.
Getting her first couple points. And a quick response. Burris, no good. Mulvihill scoops that one. Sarber will slow things down, finds Folks. And that one poked away by Thompson. Braves might try to hit 30 before we get out of here. Anderson goes up, and that's just what they will do.
Anderson.
Heavy focus on ball movement around the perimeter for the Cards here again.
And a good finish there by Kylie Bourne.
Giving everyone a couple bites at the apple here. Eudora is late. Now under 30 ticks to go.
Thompson under the basket will draw a foul.
Fouls on Emma Sarber, the first personal. Addison Thompson at the line, shooting 2.
She's Thompson tied with Anderson now for second most on the team, and she will grab sole possession of that, getting up to 7, 3 of which have come from the line here all in this fourth quarter. Braves have definitely fought back here to make the score look a little better, some of which have come against the bench for the Cards, but been a decent fight here, just to, some consolation points.
Absolutely. It's been a good effort. Sarber holding on to this one, under 5 seconds to go.
But the Braves will look to move on and continue what has been a successful season, but not a successful night. The Cards are up to 9 straight. They are just fantastic. Continue to roll here within the Frontier League, and they are up to 18 wins on the season now. We'll go to a break, come back on our post-game show, wrap this one up, and then move to the second game of this doubleheader, the boys taking the court.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, welcome in here. Post-game show. They've got some senior ceremonies going on here in the Bonner Springs gym. It is our Eudora Animal Hospital post-game show. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. You can learn more at eudoravet.com. So pretty big win there in the end for the Cards. And I mean, they had that 17-point unanswered run in the first quarter. Never looked back, even from once they took the lead there. The first couple baskets, it was 4-3, and that was it. You know, I keep a biggest lead here in front of me. There was a 3-point lead for the Braves because they scored the first 3 points, and then it took them until the third and fourth quarter to even start consistently scoring baskets. It was a long time before they hit 20 points. The Cardinals hit 50 before they hit 20. And just an unbelievable showing there the Cards hit 40 before they hit 20. It was just a really unbelievable showing for this Lady Cards team. It has been characteristic, though, of how strong they have been this year. What did you make of what we saw tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this Cards defense is just so unbelievably stout. And on nights like this where they are clearly in rhythm and they show up with their clear goal and you can tell the players are playing well, they're kind of impossible to score on. And you made a comment in the first half that really resonated with me. Early on this season, they were very primarily a second-half team. That was their biggest strength. We saw them have a couple of really strong opening quarters over the last few weeks, and we just noted it. Hey, they're starting stronger. It's a trend at this point. They are absolutely starting stronger and starting faster, and it's not like they're dropping off the planet in the second half either. They've turned into a full 4 quarters kind of basketball team.
I was interested by the second half, though, for the Cards. They really did end up taking the foot off the pedal a little bit in terms of scoring, which we just see them normally. Nothing changes. They're playing the full, and maybe there's something of like eyes on the postseason. We don't want to get injured on our way there.
Sure.
I don't know what that was. They still played phenomenally. Specifically defense, they were almost letting up nothing. But it was interesting. This was and I don't think that was them being bested. I think that was a decision. I just found that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to keep an eye on, of course, like you said, whether or not that was super intentional, but it didn't look like an accident. It looked like a conscious effort for sure. And watching the Cards play these last 3 or 4 weeks has got to be a bad sign. If you're one of the few teams in the state of Kansas that isn't already frightened by the Cardinals looking at them as a second-half strength team, you now look at them playing 4 strong quarters against pretty much every team they play tonight as an outlier, and you go, oh, like there might be 20 schools that the Cards could run across who would legitimately not be very frightened by them, and they're now playing much stronger and can go score on you in the first quarter. And tonight was just another example of it. I mean, they're so strong down the stretch. The defense is indomitable in just about every way, and they continue the trend all season long of making really good double-digit win teams look like 4-win teams.
We'll go ahead and run through some scoring tallies here and then go to moving into pregame show for the boys matchup. So first for the Lady Cards, Kylie Bourne got a couple. Peyton Lewis with 13. Bryn Dieterding with 18. Izzy Brunkow with 2. Ava Dye with 10. Carly Owens with 2. Jayla Coulter with 7. And Emma Sarber with 2. On the other side for the Braves, Emily Morton with 2, Nia Anderson with 6, Amaya Burris with 11, Addison Thompson with 7, Chastity Samble with 4, and Meredith Billings with 2. Jumps off to me, Hayden, seeing Dieterding put up 18 again. I think that we are seeing a vintage Dieterding, which is hilarious to say of any high school player, let alone a player that's only in her junior year. But she is back to hitting those threes and just scoring freely. She's always been a big contributor, but we talked about it this season. Started slowly for her in terms of scoring. Just started a little bit slow. But, I mean, she is in full form at this point. It is fantastic. She is taking control of games. I think that's just really great to see.
Yeah, I think freely is a really phenomenal phrase for it, because when she's on and has those 15, 20-point nights, even more, it doesn't usually feel like she's making a super conscious effort to go score points. It's just flow, like most very good basketball players. You just keep seeing her pull up and take shots that go, and you look down at the end of the game and she's got 25 points. Like it's almost a renaissance of sorts of how she's playing. This looks like freshman Bryn Dieterding in a lot of ways shooting again.
All right, when we're back, it'll be our Fort Scott Community College pregame show. Keep it here on Eudora Sports Live.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you. At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, welcome in here to the pregame show brought to us by Fort Scott Community College. You belong at Fort Scott Community College. From nursing, farm and ranch management, John Deere tech to theater, so much more. Plus championship caliber athletic programs. Go to fortscott.edu to learn more. So, you know, Hayden, we talked about it. I remember last game we used the word buzzsaw to describe the Lady Cards because they have just been untouchable, but actually it's you can't use that word because the Cards have been defeated twice. They are 18-2, the Lady Cards. This is an actual untouchable team at this point. They come in 20-0, do these Bonner Springs Braves. They are unreal. They have been flying high. They beat the Cards by 29 last time when we matched up, and they have not lost a game. The only positive note that I can add to that is last year, this Braves team only lost 5 games, and the Cards were one of them. That was in the Tonganoxie Invitational, all-important win because they lost both regular season matchups with the Braves, but they beat them by 2 in the tourney on their way to getting the golden ball there in Tonganoxie. But that was last year. This year, no one has beaten these Braves. They are unbelievable. They are literally untouchable, and it's hard to see the Cards on the road here being the first team to do it. Maybe they could be, though. They've done improbable things before. What do you see coming into this matchup? And maybe what would it take for the Cardinals to be that first team?
Yeah, I mean, walking into this one, it's one of those games where you look at the Cards on paper and go, all right, they've been such a, you can almost call it sporadic team at points this year where they'll go on these crazy hot streaks and the lows feel like valleys and the highs feel like mountaintops. Think back to that Tonganoxie Invitational last year where they were below 500 coming in, go on a 3-win streak, win the tournament. If there's any team who could walk in here and just put on an out-of-this-world performance and win, it could be these Eudora Cardinals, but the environment is difficult. This isn't Ottawa, but I have a feeling this home environment is going to be incredible tonight. This Bonner Springs Braves team feels a lot like the Ottawa Cyclones last year. They were undefeated through the entire regular season. Cards lost to them in 3 different matchups, 2 in the regular season and their postseason matchup against them. That's a team that many would tell you by all rights should have won the state championship, ended up finishing 3rd in the state. But this Cards team has their work cut out for them. I think no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to start fast. This needs to be one of those games where you have a close to 20-point first quarter in my eyes. You need to run with them and put points up. Cannot fall in those 8 to 10-point gaps against this kind of team. They're not going to give you many opportunities to get out of it, and you got to minimize the mistakes. Passing lanes have to be clear and efficient. Don't turn it over a whole lot, because this is a Braves team that I have no doubt the record shows are going to punish you for mistakes.
Yeah, actually, Hayden, you mentioned the atmosphere. I went back, checked out the first broadcast. We commented on the atmosphere that their traveling fans created, that it was loud, it was very present there, and that was in Eudora. And so here at home, it was funny actually. I sort of noticed we talked about the Ottawa atmosphere being so big, and then we went there again this year, and it wasn't quite the same. Their band was extremely loud. My word, their band was very loud, but their crowd wasn't so loud there. And I think that it's just easy to show up and cheer for your undefeated basketball team. So I imagine we might see some of that same effect here tonight for the Braves, because it's fun to show up for a winning team. It's less fun to show up for a team if you're not quite sure what's going to happen for them. And this feels like you can almost say it's a sure thing. The Braves are going to win. It's been that way 20 times this season that they've come out on top. And, they're going to look at the Cardinals and think, I think that you're number 21 tonight. And so the Cardinals are going to know that. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. They are absolutely the underdogs, not expected to win. I think they're going to love that alone. They will love coming in with no pressure on them to do anything. If they came in and got blown out, be like, yep, that's sort of what we saw coming. Anything else is going to be a surprise, and the Cardinals love to surprise. You said sporadic. That's a perfect word for it. They are up and down, and a big difference here, they have Ryan Osborne. He was unavailable last time when the Cards, they did lose by 29, so I don't know how much of a difference one man can make, but Osborne, standing at 6'7", is going to be as big of an impact player as you can hope for the Cards here, available tonight. So that is certainly a big factor that would contribute to the think, well, maybe they could do it. Because you look at it's hard to look past the 69-40 final score last time that they met. But there's a big difference there, having Osborne available, and they've got Thomas as well. We'll see. They did play limited roles in the previous matchup with Lewisburg. We'll see what that was. That was a coaching decision. We will see what that looks like tonight. But I think that if he's going to play a big role, he could be somebody that makes a specific impact on making this one different than the way it went the first time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's 2 notes to make there. One, Ryan Osborne is the kind of player who can account for 29 points by himself. Obviously no guarantees, but you look at not having that kind of player in a 20-ish point loss, and you go, all right, if he showed up and had one of his days, that's a much closer game. Also, look at some of the wins this Cards team has had this year. We've gotten to call 2 in particular incredible buzzer beater wins for the Cards. We've called buzzer beater losses for the Cards this year. This team lives and dies oftentimes by expectations. And coming into a game where they shouldn't win and just playing free and playing loose, this is a perfect scenario for that. They're coming in here, as you said, anything better than a blowout loss will be, all right, we did well. So it's a good atmosphere for them. This is the kind of game where they could walk in and just play like they have nothing to lose, and that kind of team is dangerous here.
I wouldn't say anything other than a blowout is doing well, but anything other than a blowout is defying expectations.
Yes.
That's the point I was making there.
Yep.
But we've got about 8 minutes before second half tip. They're moving things pretty slow here in Bonner. Not too much a complaint, though.
Running clock in the fourth quarter of girls' game.
Yeah, gives us some time to go through our opening tip-off live read. It'll be brought to us by Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive when it gets here in 8 minutes. Since 2005, Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive has been keeping Eudora moving. You can find them at 208 East Street. From tune-ups to major repairs, they service all makes and models with honesty and care. Call 785-542-5152 today, and Wolf Diagnostic will get you back on the road quickly. We will go ahead and go to another break here on this FSCC pregame show, but keep it here on Eudora Sports Live. We've got boys basketball coming up soon.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, They always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at VarsitySportsLive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com. For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams.
All right, in here for starting lineups.
At forward, a 6'3" freshman, number 3, Hunter Herding. At forward, a 6'6" junior, number 4, Ryan Osborne. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 23, Julian Otis. At forward, a 6'3" sophomore, number 24, Cash Schneider. And at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 33, Cage Crabble. And now, your starting lineup for your Bonner Springs Braves. Led by head coach Drew Gruber and assistant coaches Jeff Evans, Anthony Davis, and Joe Reed, and assisted by head trainer Sarah Neri. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 2, Prince Darnell. At forward, a 6'5" sophomore, number 5, Jaden. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 11, Nate Farrell. At forward, a 6'3" senior. Number 24, Jason Jones. And at guard, a 6'3" senior. Number 45, Kellen Gruber.
All right, so just to run through those again. For the Cards, Hunter Hertig, Ryan Osborne, Julian Otis, Cash Schneider, Cage Crable. So notably, Cy Thomas still not starting there for the Cards. Prince Devine, Donnell, Jaden Jones, Nathaniel Farrell, Jason Jones II, and Keelan Groover are the starting 5 for the hosts here. The undefeated 20-0 Bonner Springs Braves. They are a fantastic team. No one has been able to get the better of them. Can the Cards do it tonight? The opening tip there was originally won by Osborne, but could not corral it for the Cards. So the Braves start with the ball here. They've got some decent showing here in terms of the crowd. There are maybe some more empty seats than you might have expected, but the student section is absolutely packed. And if this team gives them something to cheer for, as they have done plenty of times this season, I imagine we will hear the atmosphere, the Orange Crush, as it is labeled over there, might crush the Cardinals here tonight.
Yeah, and I look really closely as a 3 fires off early here for the Braves. Will not go, brought down by Groover.
It's Nate Farrell pulling up with that one, and then he grabbed it back, and Hertig will poke that one behind.
I'm really interested here to see what ball movement looks like early on from the Braves and how the Cards respond to it. Because you got to think a team of this magnitude is going to poke and prod a little bit at the defense, and the three goes immediately.
Jason Jones II hits that 3. He was good for 4 points in the first matchup. He's got an offer to play collegiate ball from Heston College and gives his team the lead here.
And we mentioned efficiency and taking care of the ball as a big emphasis points for the Cards here. You don't want to have turnovers early on. You don't want to make the mistakes that they'll capitalize on. An early shot attempt from Hertig, maybe ambitious, a good shot, does not go.
Here is Groover. He surpassed 1,000 career points this season. That was back in December.
He's well past that mark now, you got to think.
And this is going to be saved from going into the backcourt by Prince Donnell, and the Braves still are going to hold on to the ball.
Wow. Briefly looked in danger, at least a couple of different moments, actually.
Here's Groover from deep. No good. Brought down by Schneider. Cash Schneider chipped in 15 points for the Cards last time. They'd love to get him firing.
And no team's going to shoot 100 from the free throw line, but those misses do feel important for the Cards to try to capitalize on. I don't think the Braves are going to give them many.
And a foul call there offensively against Eudora ends that possession. They hit Osborne.
Calls on Ryan Osborne. His first personal.
And Cards making a big point to fill the paint. Everything inside the perimeter filled with red. But we know these Braves are very capable from shooting outside the perimeter. They have no problem with it. Tight defense.
This is Jones II once again. That time no good. Otis, the senior, back in the starting 5 for the Cards. Here is Hertig, been a great role player this year for the Cards. Gets the ball back. Cage Crable just recently committed to play football at Baker. Here's Schneider in the double coverage. Ambitious shot there for sure. And then Hertig comes in, slaps that one away, and it's a clean play. And now Cy Thomas will enter in. We commented on the fact he wasn't in the starting 5. He wasn't in the starting 5 last game either. Didn't play until the second quarter of that one, but only sat for a couple minutes and now is checked into the game. The dangerous 6'1" sophomore. Only chipped in 6 points last time, but a fantastic player and another one that if the Cards are going to do it tonight, he's going to play a role for sure.
Yes, yeah. If the Cards do it tonight, everyone is going to have a role. More than the 5 on the floor will play a role.
You're going to talk about everyone playing a role. Last game on Tuesday, the Cards had 12 different scorers, including 5 seniors. That was a fun performance there for them over the Wildcats. Here is Osborne Finds Thomas. Otis with some space, pulls up, tie game!
Nicely done by the Cards to silence this crowd just a little bit here early on. And time dragging on a fair bit. Both teams have taken their time a fair bit here. Almost halfway through the first quarter, only one scoring shot for each team. Braves have had pretty steady control of a lot of the possessions.
And that one won't go. Short range shot from Farrell. Missed, and now the Cards might grab the lead. Schneider against Gruber gets hit with the charge. That's a great job by Gruber to draw the foul.
Yes. Well, and really well done, too, because for a team as good as the Braves, every time they miss something as simple as a layup field goal attempt there, if you're the Cards, you're emphasizing that next possession as something you want to score on. So to save points there, really, really nice veteran savvy from Gruber. Again, Cards making it clear to the Braves that nothing inside the paint will be easy. Braves have had no hesitation to say, all right, we'll try it out.
This is Jaden Jones and now Jason Jones the second, and a whistle blows there. I'm not quite sure what for, but it turns the ball over there. I'm going to, for the sake of the viewer, I will differentiate between Jaden Jones and Jason Jones the second by calling one Jones the second, and then the other just Jones.
There you go.
Just so that you've got that one down in your book. I'm sure many of you are, keeping score at home. Here is Hertig to the corner. Schneider hesitates, sends Gruber to the seats, and scores!
Beautifully done from Schneider. Really nice shot. And a couple of Cards shooting well from three, and that looks like it's going to induce a timeout for the Braves.
How about that from Schneider, and give the Cards the lead here in hostile territory.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
So the Cards have the lead here. We've seen 3 baskets, all from behind the arc. Schneider gave the Cards the lead and induced the timeout there for the Braves. They've been playing at a bit of a slow pace here and then also not converting on shots. What do you think of the pace of play thus far here, Hayden? Well, hold that thought. We've got a travel call there, so the Cards will take it away, and that sort of contributes to what we're talking about here. The Braves are taking their time and then currently not capitalizing on possessions. What do you make of the way that it's going and what that could do going forward?
Yeah, I think a team like the Braves is never going to worry too much about the slow start. However, a team like the Cardinals in this scenario is going to love that. The slow pace and mainly the missed shots from the Braves have been very beneficial for the Cards. I don't think that continues.
Schneider there was able to hold on to it for a second and then tried to get it to Otis. There was some miscommunication, but I think it's going to stay in Cardinal possession. It will.
Yeah, I don't think this continues. However, right now it is definitely beneficial for the Cards. But when the Braves do something like miss an easy layup and you don't punish them for it with points, really nice make from Cy. I think not punishing the Braves for all of the missed opportunities so far, if you keep doing that, you will struggle a lot to win this game.
And that's a big make there. Jackson Nez, the senior, off the bench.
That is.
I'm interested in this play. It's really actually been the Braves dictating the pace of play, but they were just not converting on their possession. So I don't think that they're going to change that. The thing will just be, I bet the shots will start dropping for them at some point. So the Cards need to try and get as many points on the board before that starts to happen. And Thomas will get a couple more, banking that one in against Nathaniel Farrell.
And I love seeing a player like Cy Thomas get going early. Of course, Schneider's dropped the 3, but seeing Cy Thomas get 2 consecutive scoring plays on back-to-back possessions is big to get a guy like him rolling with some momentum early. You think back to guys outside the sport like Tom Brady saying, I never wanted to let my big guys go a quarter without seeing any action.
Wow! Schneider just lost it. It wasn't even a great play by Farrell. Schneider just completely lost the handle on it.
Now for the Cards, you don't want to panic here in that scenario.
Here is Cash Schneider trying to keep a cool head, finds Otis, and he gets it. That's a big shot. He's already got 2 tonight.
That is, the shot was beautiful, and the calmness, the composure to not let that little mistake completely throw off their rhythm. That possession looked very similar to all the earlier ones.
The lead is right back.
Composure is going to be necessary tonight.
To 5, Jones to Farrell, out to Nez. Now Jones the second, looking for a second 3, no good, and Osborne uncontested. Schneider has a couple teammates with him. A nice left-handed pass to Otis, but he rushed himself on the finish looking for a foul. It won't come. Over a minute to go.
The Braves continue to avoid being punished for some of their early missteps.
This is Farrell, no good. And again, Osborne uncontested on the rebound. Cards moving quickly. This is almost identical to the previous possession. This time it sets up for Thomas, no good. And Jones brings it down. A minute to go. Moving quickly here after a slower start. We're going back and forth, but now Jones the second will slow things down.
And you got to think if you're the Cards, if the shots continue to not drop for the Braves, which I don't see happening much longer, you've got to continue to score, because a 5-point lead like this, like you said, if the Braves start dropping, that 5-point lead will disappear very quickly.
Jaden Jones needed a sub there, and it's going to have some substitutions from both teams. The Cards making quite a few changes. Duncan, Crable, and Alex Gonzalez going in. And on the other side, Dion Cruz has come in. He got 8 points the first time around between these two teams.
I did notice Jones a little slow to his feet initially. He passed it off and put a hand to the back of his leg, so hope he's all right there.
Donnell to Nez. Drains it. He's already got 2. The 5'10 senior only chipped in 3 points this first matchup. Already has twice that. Shot clock off here. The Cards will look to take a lead into the second quarter. Their biggest lead has been 5. Will they try to get it back to that? Here's Thomas taking time against Donnell. Now Schneider, Duncan. Schneider again, hesitates, goes for that 5-point lead, won't get it. Loose ball, Thomas falling away under pressure, and now Groover's gonna get one off, and no good. So the Cards do take that lead just barely into the second quarter. They are up 2.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats.
Well, Hayden. The Cardinals take a lead here into the second quarter. What do you make of that first quarter? 13-11 is the score after 1. The Cards at multiple points, different points, led by 5. What do you think that we're seeing here so far for this 20-0 Braves team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the Braves panicking, which I think is very much so what you would expect to see from them, but the Cards have done a really good job keeping themselves composed, scoring points when they needed to. I do think they've maybe left some meat on the bone in terms of opportunities, which will need to get fixed.
Groover in the corner, no good.
But as we said there, Braves are still giving some opportunities to the Cards here. If they're able to take advantage of it, Cardinals can and should hold on to the advantage here as the Braves, I won't say rattled, but they're definitely not making shots you'd expect them to make.
Their first possession goes empty. Duncan gets his first points off the bench. Meanwhile, I was going to mention that Keelan Groover is still without points. Keelan Duncan gets his first couple.
If I told you the first Keelan to get points in this game would not be Groover, you likely would have been a bit surprised.
Nez going for that one and getting it. He has 3 threes.
Yeah, Nez has kind of single-handedly kept this one feeling very tight, even at moments where the Braves were cold. Nez has been able to drop a 3, and pretty much immediately, if you're on the Braves side, you calm down a little bit, go, okay, we're still in this thing.
Schneider, wow, what a job to score there.
Absolutely beautifully put away. And although you're usually trading 2s for 3s in the last couple of minutes, the Cards getting points like that is absolutely a necessity. You'd rather 3, never going to complain about 2, which Groover will take all day long.
Grabs his first couple. You saw the way he finished there. He shot that one really high to drop it in. And gets them back within 1, but the Cards still on top here. And Duncan's pass swiped away by Dion Cruz. He was looking to Crable. Here's Nez trying to punish the Cardinals once again, and Schneider denies it. Thompson under some pressure, or Thomas under some pressure, but goes and scores.
And the composure from the Cardinals remains here. You lose possession only up by 1. It feels kind of inevitable that they're going to lose the lead. And you not only cleanly, beautifully take possession back, Cy Thomas gets away.
Jones the second in the corner, we're tied.
And then equal composure rolls from the Braves. We've been cheering on the Cards for it, but the Braves also the 20-0 squad, not flinching in the face of being down through a quarter.
Duncan gets to the basket, put way too much on that one, under some tough defensive pressure there, and now the Braves might be able to grab the lead back. Jones the second, step back 3, no good, and a great rebound by Schneider. The Cards definitely winning the rebound battle at this point.
Absolutely. They've done a really good job. It looks like it's been a point of emphasis, as it should be against a team like this. Every time they miss a shot, you want to be there to grab it.
Thomas wanting Osborne to move towards the basket. Now he's just going to go across to Schneider. No good, and Nez able to get it flat-footed. Donnell across Groover, corner, Jones the second against Crable, and Thomas swipes that one. He's got 3 defenders in front of him, though. Needs to be smart here. Goes to the basket, scores.
Almost seems like a flow state kind of performance for Cy Thomas so far. As another timeout induced, that time Eudora takes it. Cy Thomas looks comfortable, Reed.
I want to keep you here and ask you, Hayden, to talk about this. This is interesting. I mean, I don't even need to ask you, could they do it? I suppose we're seeing that they could. Is this actually sustainable for the Cards?
It all depends on their composure to me. It all depends on how they continue to adjust throughout the game, because pressure is not going to just be a first quarter thing, not just a second quarter thing. If they stay in front, they are going to have relentless pressure coming the entire game. It's going to come down to, can you not make the big mistakes? Can you continue to just go down the court, score your points, play good defense, which we know they can. It's just a matter of, does this keep up for an entire game, which for a 500 team, I can't give you a concrete answer.
Yeah, and with the lead where it is, it's such a small margin. And right now the Cardinals are able to hold on to that lead. But, I mean, the Braves hit a couple without the Cardinals getting it, and then they're on top. And so I think that if the Cardinals are going to sustain this lead, it needs to grow. It's been only as big as 5. And honestly, we've got so much basketball left. I feel like the Braves will lead at some point, and the Cardinals will need to grab it back. And that's just a matter of, it's only a 2-point lead right now.
Yep.
And Groover will try and tie the game, but it will be a foul on the floor, in fact.
Interesting. Thought he'd be going to the line there. Yeah, it's going to be the kind of game where the Cards will have to grab a lead back.
But guess what? We're seeing that they can do it. You know, something,
and we're seeing signs, yeah.
Something I didn't even mention. I should have, absolutely. The first 23 points of this game last time were scored by the Braves when these teams matched up. It was 23-0 before the Cardinals even scored, as we're tied now at 21s.
Now
this is extremely different script already. Just that it is a close game for the time being. Even if it doesn't end that way, this is very different than the first matchup, because it was literally never close the first time around.
And Reed, this goes back to a trend you brought up a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Jones the second can't give him the lead. Go ahead.
This goes right back to a point you brought up on the ladies' side. A trend of Frontier League teams losing big in their own stadium, then going into the opponent's stadium and playing significantly better. We're seeing that carry again here, as you said, regardless of how the game ends up.
Vota out there grabbing his first minutes. Gave that one to Thomas, who couldn't get the jump shot.
I think Vota's a really nice player to have on the floor in this situation.
Groover catch and shoot and hits the 3, and they've got the lead for the first time since early in this first quarter.
And you mentioned it was inevitable that the Cards would have to fight their way back. Having to fight back from down 3 puts a fair bit of pressure on them. And this is where, if you don't execute well, I feel the Braves can really start to take the leash off and come after you. And you're seeing it defensively, a lot of pressure here.
And the student section as well, seeing their team on top for the first time since they hit the first basket of the game.
The official warned Cy Thomas of almost going too far back on the court, and he kind of pointed down, said, I'm in front of the line.
And that time he draws a foul on Prince Divine Donnell. And now Schneider will check in before this inbound. He will replace Cy Thomas. So the 5 out there on the floor: Schneider, Osborne, Hertig, Vota, and Otis. Here is Vota, the senior. Gives it to another senior, and now Schneider. And did he step out there? He did. Some good defense by Jackson Nez. And the Braves can try and add to this. This 3-point lead is the biggest lead that they've had this game. The Cards have had a 5-point lead at a couple different points. They could try, the Braves now, to build a multi-shot lead here with this possession.
Yeah, and that would put a big test on the Cardinals. It'd be the biggest one they've had today, I'd argue. Needing to crawl out of a hole against a 20-0 team is a tall task for anyone. But the Cards, as you said, have shown signs today of being capable of it.
Jones the second, working to find some space, but Hertig and Osborne won't let him find any. Groover against Hertig. Wow, no foul call despite hard contact from Hertig. That is surprising there for Groover.
Yes,
the Cards come away with the ball. What can they do with it? Hertig being swarmed.
And the crowd's letting them know,
too. And then Schneider gets that one despite not getting a clean handle, and it's back within 1. That was an interesting passage of play there. The Braves might feel a little upset with the way that one went.
But also, what has happened, and that ball actually loose.
Oh
my goodness! And it goes right back the other way.
Nez settles things down, and Jones the second scores.
So that pushes the gap back out to 3. But I was going to say
there are cracks showing.
And what lies, but the Cards taking advantage of that weird sequence to get points is a really big deal to me.
Oh, Schneider hit with the travel there. Was hoping he could get something for the contact, but it won't come. Vota checks out. Gonzalez goes in, one senior for another.
Vota will receive a hand of applause on the bench for the beautiful recovery, even though ultimately didn't go anywhere for the Cards. A great effort from him.
This is Cruz out to Farrell against Gonzalez. The dangerous Jackson Nez gets it back. Agon putting some pressure on Donnell all by himself. No good. Schneider rebounds. He's got 3 defenders in front of him, so he'll slow things down. Oh, through the legs of Otis, and still bouncing around. And what are they going to call here?
That could be a Eudora ball.
They say a jump ball. I'm not sure anyone really had control. It was under a couple knees there.
Yeah, it was under legs and ankles, and everyone was going for it.
But the arrow goes to the Cards, and now Thomas will come in for Hertig with 1:30 to go. The Cards hoping to do something offensively effective here on this possession.
Yeah, you had a 2-point lead coming out of the first quarter, so if you're able to maybe not even win the quarter, but just tie it, be a really big deal.
Cards trusting Thomas in a one-on-one with Prince Donnell. He got a hand to the pass, and this is going to go. Donnell swipes at. Great work defensively, and he turns it into a basket. That is poor there by the Cards. They left Thomas stranded. Maybe that's what they wanted to do, but Donnell just capitalized beautifully on that one. And now Otis gets it swiped away. The Braves are swarming right now. Jones the second goes up, no good, but it's a foul to the line. He will go for 2.
And as much as you don't want that to go, if you're the Cards, I feel like you can't say too much about that because they've definitely had contact in the paint tonight that has not been called when you feel like it maybe should have been.
No, I actually like the foul there by Gonzalez. One, you might give up less than the 2 points, but even if it does, it just slows things down because the momentum there was really swelling for the Braves.
For sure. Well, and also as the first one goes bad, that benefits them. There. Even if, the play would have gone on right there under the paint, if the block happens, there's no guarantee that he doesn't shoot it out to the boundary and they get 3 out of it. It'd be really amazing for the Cards to escape with only 1 point allowed, and they will do just that.
So it is a 6-point lead, the biggest lead for either team now for the home team. Gonzalez bounced it in. Osborne just completely took his eye off the ball. The Braves get to try and continue this run, and Gonzalez will get another foul. I don't think that one was quite as much of a choice, but to the line will go Prince Donnell.
No, feels like he kind of needed to there, and I don't know if we're seeing composure from the Cards start to slip a little bit, or frustration maybe, but a little bit of the kind of stone cold play style from earlier on showing a couple of cracks. Nothing severe, I wouldn't say. First one does go perfect for Jones. And for Donnell, I'm sorry.
Donnell put up 11 last time. He's got 3 so far, makes his team first to 30.
That pushes the lead now out to 8 for the Braves on about 45 to go here in the first half.
Thomas working against a couple defenders, will score. He's got 10.
Really nice touch on his little jump passes as well.
Cards would love to force an empty possession here for the Braves, but that's going to be exactly what the Braves trying not to allow to happen here. They're going to take their time and try and have the last say potentially, as they have worked out to a decent lead after trailing through 1. Floated up to Donnell, gets into the paint, finds Groover all by himself. Can't leave it like that.
Really nicely done. Thomas, about 5 to go here, going to try to take a shot probably. Doesn't keep a hold. That one goes to Groover and a whistle blows.
That was on Prince Donnell.
They going to say shooting foul?
Second personal.
No, it'll be an inbound. Donnell hit with his second. So the Cards will have to move quickly here. You might see them go to Cy Thomas. They do. Thomas sets his feet, shoots, no good. So it's a 9-point lead. The Cardinals led through 1, but they trail at halftime. The undefeated Braves looking to try and put another one in the books.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, Attic Storage of Eudora halftime show. We've got a knockout competition going on here, so we'll show you that. Just for fun, have something to look at. There's a couple of players from the girls team in there for the Braves. So it is an interesting one here at half. Hayden, 34-25 is the score. So let's see, what was that? That's a 23-11 quarter there for the Braves. So a 12-point quarter win to put them up by 9. So I guess that makes it an 11-point quarter win if the math works out there. An interesting one. We certainly saw some flashes for the Cardinals that would suggest this is possible, but at this point they've got a decent bit of work to do. Nothing out of the range of possibility, but an interesting start nonetheless. What do you make of this first half?
Yeah, I mean, the Cards gave us a show in that first quarter. That caught you and I, maybe not off guard, but very pleasantly surprised with how they looked early on in that first quarter. And I told you as soon as we went to the break, looking at the record of the Braves and the reputation they carry in here, I didn't see any possibility that we would go through an entire 2 quarters, a whole first half, and never see a sustained pop from the Braves. And sure enough, we got that. You mentioned that first foul late in the second quarter from Alex Gonzalez was almost a good way to slow things down a little bit, even if you ended up giving up points. And we thought it could. It ended up not. The run kind of just continued. It just delayed it a little bit. But the Cards can absolutely still win this game, but it is going to take a fair bit of effort here, especially because I wouldn't necessarily expect the Braves' momentum to halt coming out of the half.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the sheet here. The Cards put up 13 in the first quarter to the Braves' 11. The Cards put up 12 in the second quarter, so a similar performance. The Braves put up 23, and that was exactly what I saw coming. I forget exactly what I said on air, but my thought was the Braves are going to keep playing the game like this. They wanted it to stay slow. They did speed things up a bit, but the difference that I expected to happen was that the Braves would start making their shots. They are a 20-0 team. They started cold, but now they've gotten hot. I think for the Cards, getting to halftime was a bit of a relief, just to let that, because the Braves were only building their lead. The fact that it's only at 9, I think if there were more time left in that second quarter, the lead would only have gotten bigger for the Braves. So hopefully the Cards come out of the second half looking different, and maybe the Braves come out looking the same way they started the game. But I don't think that you can expect the Braves to consistently miss shots, and so the Cards need to just keep scoring on their possessions. They had some go empty because of fouls, some from travel, some from missed shots. I think if the Cards continue to rebound, that will be huge, because that just creates empty possessions for the Braves. And then you've got to score, even if it's 2s, but especially if you're going to pull up from 3, you want to be hitting those. They've had a couple not go. You hope to see them they've been really good at attacking the baseline. That hasn't really happened much tonight. This is a tall Braves team that's going to make that difficult, but you would hope that that's something they could try to get going. It'll be interesting to see, but certainly some inroads for the Cards. They had an 8-0 run in the first quarter. They need something like that some point in the second half to get back into things, but it's definitely right there for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely not anywhere close to over here, and as you said, they've showed us today they can go on those long sustained runs. They can absolutely find their way back in here. I think you're going to have to shoot well from 3. You're not going to be able to turn the ball over. Like you said, we've seen them put up 2 very, very stable quarters. The Braves just had that pop in the second where they put up a lot of points and did really, really well.
I would argue that the first quarter was a down. I think that second's going to be more where they're going to be at.
Yes, yeah, the second that's a good point. That is closer to their standard, I'm sure, and you see it based on their point totals this year. But the Cards are just going to have to focus, I think, that early first quarter form, mainly emphasizing the composure they had, is going to be a necessity. Not panicking when something doesn't go well, kind of taking a page out of the Lady Cards book and staying within structure when things aren't going perfectly. Because when they do that, you were seeing them go right up and down the court well. They were scoring well. Cy Thomas in particular was moving into the paint as if there was no one else there and just dancing his way to baskets consistently. If they're able to do that and you hit 1 or 2, you start hitting a couple of those 3s, they can put themselves in a pretty good spot here, but the Braves are going to give them nothing easily.
We've got 2.5 before we get the second half underway, so we'll go ahead and take one last break here on this Attic Storage of Eudora halftime show.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, second half action here. The Braves up 9, start with the ball. And it's going to become an 11-point lead. Jones the second. Banks in another shot. He is up to 13 points. He's way far bested his 4-point effort the last time these teams met. Last time that these teams played, Keelan Groover had 17 and Jaden Jones had 15 to lead the scoring for their team. But it has been a couple different names. Jones the second, Nez, and then Groover getting in as well, but not quite to the same extent, at least at this point. Here is Hunter Hurtig, drops that one in to get his first couple.
Very nicely done to draw in a little bit closer here. I think just getting those consistent, what they call high percentage plays, is going to be a really big deal for the Cards. You don't need to get the whole cookie in one bite, don't need to hit threes every time, but you do need to capitalize on the opportunities like that you're given, which they've done a good job of so far.
Going for it all. Farrell, no good, and the rebound comes up for the Braves, but then they're going to give it away. Groover couldn't corral it, though. Maybe grab back. No. Thomas does end up getting it, and now Schneider in the corner.
Beautiful.
That is big there, even though he was all by himself. Being able to set his feet and actually hit that shot, that is big. It's already back within 6 for the Cards.
Yeah, and they've done a really nice job to pull that in. You look at 9 and then very quickly, even bigger, a double-digit lead at 11. And you look at that and how quickly they've erased 5 points off of it. That's a really good sign for how the Cards are looking to approach this second half here in the opening minutes.
Jones the second, no good. They hold possession, but not for long. Osborne takes this one. He's got a couple teammates with him. Thomas wants the 3 and gets it. It's only a 3-point game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got us a game here. Braves still look calm, but the Cards, make no mistake about it, they've showed up to play here in the third quarter, letting the Braves know they're going nowhere.
And all that after the Braves got the first basket. It seemed, well, maybe they're just going to pick right where they left off.
No, sir.
But no, the Cards with some momentum going their way.
His first personal.
This is Prince Divine Donnell and now Jackson Nez, who starts in the second half 5. He did not, Jackson Nez, start this game, but he has proven himself by draining 3 threes that he deserves to be out on the floor. Jones the second.
Another point here. I wouldn't expect the Braves to be a team to let pressure get them easily, but if the Cards stay close, there's a chance you see some of those occasional misses that the Braves have had continue to go if the Cards can keep the pressure on hot.
Donnell can't get it to go, and then swipes it back from Osborne. How did he get on his feet, Donnell, so quickly? And he scores now. That is crazy.
That was beautifully done. Poetry in motion from Donnell.
He popped up so quickly, and that was why Osborne thought that he had time. It seemed like he should. But now Donnell just gets handed the ball by Otis. And he's going to go down and score, and an and one. And all of a sudden, all that momentum for the Cards feels like it's fading fast.
Yes, it feels completely gone at this point. And the Braves may not have replaced it with some of their own, but they have very firmly said, yeah, we're not going to let that run of play go on very much longer. Now to 7 is still manageable, but definitely not ideal for the Cards to find themselves close to the mark they were at to open the third.
That's Donnell's first miss and 3 tries at the line, but they get it back and score, and Nez. So the missed free throw works out there, and all of a sudden the lead is right back where it started at 9. Osborne under the basket gets his first points tonight. We mentioned that he did not play a part in the first time these teams met. He is here tonight, and he's touched the ball quite a bit. That's his first time scoring here, though.
He has, and the touches he's had have made an impact beyond the points it showed on the board. He has been a big presence in helping to move the ball around for the Cards.
Farrell no good. Gruber and one.
Schneider is arguing that he wasn't even really playing defense at the moment. Gruber caught the ball mid-jump and put it in.
The second personal.
So that's personal foul number 2 for Schneider.
Cards already up to 3 as a team. And Gruber not going to miss that one. He's got 11 now. And this is a 10-point lead. Thomas gets past Nez, gets past Farrell, scores. That was pretty. He's got
really pretty.
15.
And something the Braves have done a really nice job of is when they get one basket to drop, they'll switch phase so quickly that it almost makes the other team feel like they have to do something kind of brash to keep possession of it.
Jones the second, gets it back. Oh, in and out. Nez, though, rebounds, behind the head, basket, scores.
Nice recovery, something else the Braves have done really, really well tonight. Failing to allow the little errors to really dictate how they play. The Cards a miracle to keep possession there, and Cy Thomas puts it away.
What a play by Thomas. And then a timeout taken by Coach Cleveland, seeing things getting a little bit shaky here to start this third quarter. They're back within 8. It's an interesting one here, Hayden. I mean, they've got it all the way back within 3. They've trailed by as many as 11. Right now it sits at 8. Still certainly doable, but I think at this point the Braves are just showing off what they are capable of. And right now tonight, they have not actually been able to truly pull away, but they're showing what they can do, how they did it last time. And if the Cardinals at any point slip up from trying to tread water where they are right now, they could find themselves long gone in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the last minute or two has kind of felt like a pinball match, just going back and forth, score for score. And while that's something the Cards are capable of doing, you can't do that when you're down by almost double digits. You have to be winning that battle, getting empty possessions from the Braves and forcing them into scoring plays of your own, which the Cards have struggled with. They've had some of those moments off and on where, although they've been able to get possession back without letting up, they'll immediately make a mistake or a turnover. Braves defense has done a really good job of forcing the issue a little bit, but Cards definitely showing plenty of life, but it does feel like it's going to take a little more organization for them to truly pull closer to taking the lead back.
And you can't keep fouling either. That is not a helpful way to play here, especially if you're just giving away and ones. It's at least one thing.
One free throws too. This team's going to hit them every time.
It's one thing to just cause a miss and then hopefully you make a productive foul, but if you're just adding on to an already made basket, that is not going to be very helpful at all. Here's Farrell in the paint, out to Donnell. And now Gruber in the corner. And they lost the handle, but able to keep it. Dunback out there for the Cards. Thomas gets a hand to that one, and that blast off Gruber. Cards ball. Thomas wins possession for Eudora.
Cy Thomas has been all over the place the last 2 quarters in particular since he came in for the Cards. Both offensively and defensively. Defensively, he's made a heck of an impact here tonight.
He has been marked well by Prince Donnell. That is clearly the assignment for Donnell is just to be stuck to the hip of Cy Thomas.
Which you might be going best player for best player based on how they've played tonight.
Hertig looking to get it to Osborne. It's slapped away back to Dunback. 15 on the shot clock. Thomas still able to hold on to it against Donnell. And man, look at Donnell.
Goodness.
He's always got his eye on where that ball is going next. pokes that one out. The Cards will still have the ball, but now only 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, still opportunities to work with here. You'd expect the Braves defense to fly around here. They're going to try to make this inbound as difficult as possible. Ideally have Schneider force it farther out. He will find Osborne quick.
In the corner under double coverage, 5 on the shot clock, needs to go up soon. Schneider has to shoot. Oh, Dunback gets it off and scores. Wow. That's big.
That is really big for a guy like Caden Dunback too. This home crowd loving it. The Eudora student section popped up there.
Yeah, what a cool and calm possession for the Cards to bring it within 5.
Yes.
Now Groover into Donnell. Out for Nez. He's dangerous. No good though, and kept in, and oh my word, they still have the ball. Donnell will now still not score.
And they still have the ball.
Groover in the corner, this time Farrell. Nate Farrell goes up, and they still can't get it, and this time the Cardinals rebound.
Wow.
Hey,
Cardinals just survived
this
3 gunshots, essentially.
This Braves team, you know, they started poorly, and they are on a poor run right now. Again, they are so capable of going on a hot streak of not missing baskets. But right now, tonight is not a perfect night. It already won't be, no matter what happens for them.
Right.
They have had a lot of mistakes. The Cards have just got to capitalize. In a period like this, while they are cold, you've got to be hot, because they're going to get hot again later. Groover no good, and the Cards now have a chance to tie this one back up after trailing by 10 only moments ago.
Yeah, the composure that we brought up in the halftime break that would be so significant looks to have largely returned for the Cards. You love to see it. And big focal point here for the Braves. They've been all over the place defensively the last couple of minutes. Tight coverage.
Thought he was going to pull up for that tie game.
Maybe Schneider instead.
10 on the shot clock once again. It'll roll out to Dunback. Schneider does want the tie. No, he left the ground there, then tried to make it look like a dribble. He was indecisive, not indecisive actually. Groover just played great defense.
Sneaky. Schneider tried to say, that's not what I was trying to do. The official said, yeah, right.
So it's a credit to Groover for being so long and also aware of the ball.
Yes.
Timed his jump, and Schneider earlier had a time where he hesitated, sent Groover into the seats and scored. Was hoping to do something similar there, but had already left his feet, so the possession ended, and now
Here's
Groover wants to make the Cards pay, but he won't, and Thomas comes away with it. He's got Schneider in support, floats it up to him, and he scores. It's a 1-point game.
And the energy feels high here. The Braves have hardly any noise coming from their side, which for the Cards, that's a big deal in an arena like this too, coming into a hostile environment and truly shutting down the noise temporarily here.
Man, if the Cardinals do this, what a ridiculous ebb and flow season they have had.
Yes.
This one will go out to Groover. 40 seconds left in the quarter. And the Braves looking a little flustered right now. Donnell, though, will go to the basket and score an and one. That is fantastic.
That is massive.
Holy cow.
Really big for the sake of the game, too.
He has been ridiculous tonight.
Well, and just like that, the fouls wake the crowd up so much, too. They've pretty quickly brought the Orange Crush back from the momentary dead the Cards put them in.
Hertig will go out. The new Baker commit, Cage Crable, goes out there.
Crable and Osborne, the Cards' two most reliable at the base. Donnell so good from the line tonight, he gets another.
If I had to pick a player of the game for the Braves, I am going Donnell. He's been so good defensively and also chipped in 11 points along with it.
You'd have to argue Donnell or Nez. I think are the best two you could argue for so far.
And he has made his team, Donnell got his squad first to 50 here. Cards are okay with that for now, with where they're at. Osborne, no good. Shooting foul, though. So to the line he will go with 20 seconds left in the quarter.
And a really big opportunity here, I think, for Osborne. 20 to go left in the third quarter. Nothing feels dire yet, but an opportunity to cut this to an easy possession would be absolutely massive for the Cards. We've got Jones and Groover nearest to the baseline for the Braves.
And that one not good, and then they do come up with it. So the lead still 3 with 10 seconds to go now. It'll be Gruber. Can't let him shoot. That's why. The Cards have brought it back within one, but it'll be a 6-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, back in here for the fourth quarter. Cards down by 6, and all of this fantastic action on Eudora Sports Live is presented to you by Kansas Insurance. Kansas Insurance believes in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how Kansas Insurance can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. Proudly bringing Eudora Sports Live to Cardinals fans everywhere. This first possession goes empty, and Thomas right away hit with a foul. That is his third. Hayden, I was looking for close games for this Braves team. First of all, has to be said, there are almost none. I'm looking for games. Literally, there are 3 games that they've won by fewer than 20 points. They are crushing teams. They have multiple games they've won by 50. They are ridiculous. But they did have a 4-point win over Lewisburg, and in fact, their first game this season was an overtime win over Lansing by 7. So it is a credit for the Cards to even be close right now as they are. And Thomas will go to the line here with a chance to bring it even closer. Now, there is still the matter of this entire fourth quarter, right? Because, you know, you'd love to be like, well, hey, the Cardinals did it. They've got a close game. But,
not necessarily.
You know, I imagine there have been a few teams that have thought that, and the Braves pulled away by the end of it. So there's still work to be done here, but this is an impressive performance for this Cards team. But that really, you know, this is a season that they are winning games, and so the moral victories don't count for much. It's you want to look at it differently with a 20-0 team, but at this point, it's a winnable game. And so if the Cards lose, they'll be upset to have not come away with it. Thomas has been fantastic. He is now up to 21 points tonight. The sophomore, coming off the bench no less, has brought the game back within 4.
Yeah, at this point, you can no longer, I love that distinction from you. This is no longer a moral victory kind of game. I mean, even if they lose, they could lose this game in overtime. And you would hear no one on the Cards side saying, well, it was, 20-0 team, we were close. No, you could have won it in the fourth quarter, and that'll be what they look at.
Continues his fantastic game. He's up to 13 points.
And essentially deletes the makes from Thomas, brings it right back out to 6.
Here it is, Cy once again, now done back. The big presence of Osborne works towards the basket, comes up short. Crable with a great rebound and draws a shooting foul. To the line goes the Baker commit.
The official walked by holding up his 2 for a free throw. Crable was high-fiving his teammates and reached up as if he was on a high-five the ref. One of the hyper-motivators on this Cards team.
He had 8 football offers to choose from. Decided that Baker was the way to go. There have been quite a few Cards to go there in the last couple years, specifically to play football. I mean, also Avery Warren on the Lady Cards side is going to go there to play to run track. I've said that the Eudora seems to be a bakery. They send quite a few people on to Baker University. Crable does hit 1 to put the Cards up to 50, bring it back within 5, and also get his first point tonight.
Now, interesting visual here of how the Braves are going to go about this approach. Take their time or go quick. They choose to go quick.
And that will go out untouched, so it'll be a Cards ball. And it is interesting, they moved quick. They've done that, I thought that they might continue to keep the game slow because they were when this game started.
But they've picked up the pace quite a bit.
They have been controlling the pace of this game, and they have picked up the pace. And that one was really unnecessary there to shoot so quickly, but you would also trust Groover from 3 all day long.
For sure.
And it did not go, and Schneider no good.
So
Crable with a great play, though. Tips it out to Osborne, who says, I got this one, but cannot get it to go. So a couple missed threes apiece there. Time continuing to run away in this game. And for the time being, that favors the Braves, but they'd like to have a bigger gap, and they'll get it a little bit larger. Jones, the second, gets up to 15 points. Cards, though, have been able to shrink deficits like this very quickly. But they need to, they need to get to a point where we're not talking about deficits anymore. Thomas gets a foul there. Farrell.
The crowd doesn't like it, but official sees the jersey tug across the neck. They'll call that one all day long.
Well, it's also 3 team fouls for the Braves, so the Cards could look to get into the bonus, which could certainly play a part. Otis goes in. Oh, and miscommunication. Thomas hesitated, and Schneider needed him to continue on that path that he had started. So an empty possession for the Cards at a crucial moment.
Yeah, those kind of possessions were no longer, Groover all alone there.
Surprised he didn't shoot that one and then gives it away on the pass. A couple in support with Osborne. Schneider. Otis wants that. Oh, no good, and no one there for the rebound. This is Jaden Jones, who completely lost the handle on it, but then Otis slipped, and it'll be a jump ball, which favors the Braves.
Possession arrow favors Bonner Springs.
Osborne will go out, Keelan Duncan in.
I like the decision, saving Osborne for most likely those late minutes.
Yeah, the only thing is you just hope Duncan doesn't foul here. The Cards have only committed 1 at this point. Do not need to give the Braves any free points. But no, yeah, Keelan Duncan, love the way that he plays.
Taken by Bonner Springs.
And the Braves call a timeout with exactly 5 to go here. We'll go ahead and do the same.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom. And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College,
All right, back out of the timeout there. Exactly 5 to go at this point. I'll tell you what I'm looking at here, Hayden, with 5 to go is the mistakes will define the ending of this game. If the Braves make a couple and the Cards capitalize, or if the Cards make any more at this point, even literally just 1 might feel like too much. It's going to take a mistake or 2 for the Cards, and they also cannot make any themselves. And Groover's going to make it a 10-point lead. That won't help.
That was a really big moment. Groover's had kind of a quiet now. You can tell he's been a little frustrated at points with the way some of his shots have gone, the way some of his defense has gone. But ultimately, in a big moment, gives them a big pickup.
And a quiet night still means 17 points for a guy like him.
Right.
But you're not wrong.
It's felt like not a takeover night for him, but he's still pushing 20.
That's now the 4th team foul against the Braves. Jaden Jones hit with his first, And to the line goes the senior Julian Otis.
Yeah, credit to the Cards only having 1 foul on the board here in the fourth quarter. Doesn't feel super significant, but if the Braves do end up pushing themselves into the bonus, and the Cards only 1 or 2 to their name at that point, that would be something to keep an eye on for sure here late in the fourth. And Otis does a lot to help matters. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Helps to make that Groover 3 feel a little less noticeable.
They have made deficits like this disappear at times, but running out of time to do just that.
One of the Braves you mentioned earlier, surprised by them not playing a slower speed throughout the entire game. They're certainly going to focus heavier on it now.
Nate Farrell gets a shooting foul. So to the line he'll go. A second foul against the Cards. Farrell, his first trip to the line. Hertzig's second foul.
Nate Farrell on the line, shooting 2.
The Cards might think about strategically using fouls. You wouldn't want to send Bonner to the bonus necessarily, but if they're going to be able to maybe deaden the shots, if they're going to go for 2 and you can turn it into only a 1 point, that might be something to consider as time goes on here. But hopefully they don't have to get to that point. Schneider with a step and a travel call takes that possession away. You might categorize that under mistakes. Certainly goes as an empty possession no matter what.
For sure. Saw him look over at the coaching side and say, how? And nonetheless, what's happened happened. Cards playing much tighter defense in the back half of the court now.
Farrell, no good. Donnell rebounds. He misses as well, but Duncan flubs that one, but then grabs it back.
Does a good job to make up for the miss.
Thomas, no good. Schneider rebounds, and no foul call despite heavy contact.
Wow. You can tell he expected it by the body language. Thought a few Braves were expecting it too, actually. But alas, none comes. Time still milking off the clock here. That clock playing an ever bigger role as the deficit's still at 10 and the Braves threatening it from wider outside the perimeter.
Cards are being faced with losing another winnable game this year. One that maybe they wouldn't have expected to be that way, but so many times they've had these close games. They've also won games that they were not in position to win going into deep parts of the fourth quarter. Thomas with a great step, puts too much on it. That one certainly goes down as another mistake for the Cards. A couple now.
Yes.
And I said that it felt like maybe one would be too many at this point.
They've had about 3 since then.
Yeah, down by 10 with only 3 to go and the Braves slowing things down. They would need to get very lucky at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fortune that is needed for them without a doubt here. You don't know what form that's going to come in, and by the way the Braves have played, you know they're going to get opportunities. Question is whether it will be enough and whether the Cards can make them pay for it.
That feels like that might be it.
Huge shot in a huge moment. Jones pushes the Braves total out to 65 points.
And in fact, it's their biggest lead of the night. It won't last long.
3-pointer by Julian Otis.
But it is still a 10-point gap. The Cards take the timeout. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break as well.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Charlie.
So Hayden, it's an interesting spot here. 10 minutes, a 10-point deficit. I called that 3 from Jones a second. I thought that might be it. But then Otis did immediately respond. There is something to be said for how quick that was, that we're sort of back to the same spot again, but the Cards need to get the ball out of the Braves' hands so quickly here, score, and then do it all over again, at least twice more at this point. It's going to take a lot. What do you think are the chances here at this point? And have we already seen the dagger, or maybe is there one still to come for the Braves?
Well, there's no denying that the chances feel low. I think the dagger we won't know it's the dagger until after the fact. We could look at that shot from Jones and go, yeah, that was kind of it. Or there could still be a big one to come, but either way, the Cards are absolutely down to razor-thin margins. You cannot have any more big mistakes. You absolutely cannot have more turnovers, and you got to score points.
They might consider fouling, but at this point, it looks like they want to try and steal it clean as we now are under 2 to go.
Yeah, one-on-one matchups across the board for the Cards, so stealing definitely on the mind.
And the Braves wanting to run the clock down. Under 10 on the shot clock. Jones pulls up, won't get it. Gets it back, though. Finds Groover, who gets it to Donnell, who scores. What a passage of play that was.
That feels massive. Over 90 seconds to go here. Full-on desperation mode for the Cards now.
Wow.
Clearly trying to foul was Donnell.
Finally will come there and put the Cards into the bonus. In fact, Donnell surprised at the call. I'm not sure why they let that ride for so long.
Yeah, it looked like he had hooked his arm about half court and ran the whole way down with him. I expected that call sooner.
That's the 4th against Prince Divine Donnell, who has been fantastic.
Cy Thomas at the line.
First one for Cy Thomas does go. Another make would put the deficit at 10 points. Don't want to count our chickens before they hatch here.
Thomas up to 23 points in this game.
What a night for him.
But it looks like it will probably be part of a losing effort here tonight for the Cards. Staring down the barrel of falling back to 500 once again. Not unfamiliar territory. You can see there, the fact Donnell not driving to the basket or shooting shows they're just going to sit around here. And so Otis will foul because he doesn't want to let them run out the rest of this game. They're going to have to foul a couple more times to send the Braves into the bonus.
And you got to think in every close scenario that the Braves have found themselves in, which granted seems to be about 3 at most this year, got to think they've handled themselves well in these situations. Or you could look at it the other way and say less experience in this spot means errors could come.
Fouls on Cash Schneider.
No, I was thinking at the start of the 4th, even though it's like this is only a 6-point gap, you're looking at the last time try and find close finishes. I was thinking that was evidence that the Braves would likely pull away.
Yep.
Rather, not to say that there's not something special about this Cards performance. There absolutely is, because they lost by 29 last time. But this Braves team is going to likely build a gap here. I don't know if they can hit all the way to that 20-point mark that I mentioned that has been a regular occurrence for them. But just this was sort of what I was expecting when I mentioned that stat, even though it was also meant to be a compliment to the Cardinals' efforts up to that point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the record speaks for itself, how few close games, and you wonder how many of those games that ended up being, 18, 20, 24 points were 8-point games entering the 4th quarter, where the Braves just did exactly what we're seeing just a couple minutes earlier.
Thomas against Donnell, as he's been all night. Otis in the corner. Couldn't get it. Osborne maybe tried to smack that one in.
Yeah, he did. Braves a nice job to bring that one down, and every one of these feels more so and more so to be the edge of wrapping this one up for the Braves.
I thought the Cards might have just been resigned to accept the end of the game, but Otis not willing to accept it so fast. It's also only his 2nd personal. I didn't mention, but Thomas's last one was his 4th, so he's not going to be the one to foul again. At least you wouldn't want him to be. But I think at this point we're just sort of getting to the end of this game. It's pretty clear who's going to win. The Braves.
Not by lack of a valiant effort.
Yeah.
But
the Braves will get their 21st consecutive win this season. Donnell only got 1 to go.
Thomas moving down court, moves along the perimeter. Otis going to go up for it again. That one going to go no good off the glass.
And this one floated to Donnell, and this time the Cards will just let things finish here, and I think we could just wind down the whole game here.
They can, and it looks like they likely will take a shot with about half a second left on there.
I think we'll probably just see them dribble this one out.
Maybe take a 3 for good measure.
Well, maybe there is a second difference here.
There is. It's slight. Whether they'll count it or not.
I think the official just went to the table and said, I don't care. Let the game end, and that's what will happen. So a 70-57 final score. The Braves are 21-0. The Cardinals back down to 10-10. Post-game show is next. Keep it here, Eudora Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganachi!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. Go learn more at eudoravet.com. So, a tough one here, Hayden. We talked about it definitely was winnable for the Cards. In the end, you might be looking at it thinking, well, okay, every game's winnable because we played in it. We lost by 13 in the end. But really, it was right there for them. They were able to. They won the first quarter. They won the third quarter. But they just lost the second quarter by an 11-point margin, the fourth quarter by a 7-point margin. Just going to be tough to deal with that. And it's against a team that is now 21-0, so you can only fault them so much. This is just a fantastic team on a fantastic run. But for moments there, they had them looking flustered. They had them not playing well, and so you saw this potential that they had there, and it was there for them. But they were only able to do so much with it. They did grab a 5-point lead at a couple different points. They had some good runs, and even while they were trailing, they were able to put the pressure on a few times. But they could only do so much in the end, and they end up losing by double digits here to a team that has taken quite a few victims at this point this season. So talk about this performance here. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the Cardinals, but also feel free to sing the praises for this Braves team a little bit. I think we're witnessing some history here for them.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a really special one here. I mean, we mentioned through the third quarter that this was not going to be the kind of game, regardless of how it ended. I forget what the score was while we were mentioning it. I think it might have been around 50 to 55. We said this is not going to be the kind of game that even if the Cards lose, they're going to be interested in moral victories because it was a winnable game. They're not going to look at the record. They're not going to look at what the Braves go on to do after this. They're going to look at this game in of itself and say, records aside, we played them as well. We played them good enough to win. And, you know, you're going to look at the opportunities that they missed in the fourth quarter. But at the same time, you could go on the other hand and look at the Braves and say, if they shot better in the first quarter, if they were more consistent with those kind of flow state runs they had throughout, they could have been ahead by 25 going into the fourth. I mean, it was, you could flip that coin either direction. But it was a valiant effort by the Cards. One of the better nights, especially that first half, was one of the better nights we've seen out of them in a little while. They were just very steady, very consistent. Later in the game until ultimately about the last 5 minutes, they were very composed. I think just teams like this, teams of this caliber, even if they haven't been in those scenarios a whole lot, I think we oftentimes can say, oh, a 21-0 team that wins most of their games by blowout, they haven't been in very many close games. Well, you also look at it and go, all right, that coach isn't new to this. Those players aren't new to this. They have all been in close game scenarios. They've all been in got to close it out in the last minute and a half kind of games. So none of them are going to falter in that scenario most likely, and they didn't. They did a really good job closing this one out, and you mentioned singing the praises. I'm curious personally to follow this team along through the state process in the later postseason to see how they perform because they've got all of the tools and all of the keys to be a state championship kind of team. And if they do that, that only makes this game for the Cardinals age better, right? It only makes you look at it and go, man, you hate that they didn't win it, but also what an effort to put this team on the ropes midway through it. I mean, I can't talk enough about Cy Thomas and how excellent he was, the amount of points he put up. Almost you could point at some of the later moments and criticize him. You could also argue he was the only reason they were really in it at certain points. His point, you know, his couple of back-to-back runs were so often the thing that was giving them a lot of momentum. I'm really impressed with the Cards. I know they won't be, but against a Bonner Springs Braves team like this, so impressed with what the Cards were able to do in the first three quarters.
Yeah, he put up 23 in the end, did Cy Thomas, so a fantastic performance for him. I also loved the effort from Otis fighting all the way to the end, putting up 8. Schneider with 12. There were some really good performers for the Cards. It took a while for Groover to grow into this game, but I really look at Prince Donnell. His defensive effort was really what made him stand out, and that's crazy to say because he also had 16 points. And Jackson Nez, he did fall quiet for a long portion of the second half, but still ended with 14 points in the game, so he was also a very big performer in this game. Jason Jones II also chipping in 18 points. So just so many great players on this Braves team, and that is why they are having a historic season. That was how their PA announcer said it. We're now continuing this historic season up to 21-0, and that is, I have to imagine, a very fair word for it because they look unstoppable, and they thus far have been unstoppable. The Cards had them for a second there, but could not keep it that way, and the Braves do end up getting a 13-point win here. Let's go ahead and run you through some score tallies from the game. I've already mentioned a few of them, but I'll go through them all. Nez put up 14. Prince Divine Donnell with 16. Nate Farrell with 4. Jason Jones II with 18. And Keelan Groover with 19. So that's only 5 unique scorers for the Braves. On the Cardinals side of things, Cy Thomas with 23. Hunter Hertig with 2. Ryan Osborne with 3. Keelan Duncan with 2. Caden Dunn back with 3. Julian Otis with 8. Cash Schneider with 12, and Cage Crable with 1. And that adds up to the 70-57 final score here. Cards drop one. They're back to 500 and closing in on the end of the season here. And they've also got a matchup with Hayden Catholic coming up, which isn't necessarily one that you look at with a lot of glee for them. So they'll be hoping to at least try and end the season at 500. It'll be interesting to see. And, you know, we'll go ahead. We'll just wrap everything up here, talk through what is coming up next. So you look at now the Cards, they have lost 3 of their last 5 at this point. We've been talking about how they've been winning a lot more than losing lately, which is true. They had won 5 of 7 coming into this, but now they have lost 3 of their last 5, and that's still sitting at that 10-10 spot. Their next game will be on the 20th. They take on Spring Hill. We won't be with you for that one. It'll be Brendan Bolin and the Spring Hill Sports Live team for that one. The boys lost. It was their season opener, 72-51, that they lost against them, and that Spring Hill team is 15-5, so not going to be easy for the Cards. you'd actually say that at this point it's looking like they will finish below 500. So if they can finish at 500, they would probably feel pretty good about that.
Yep.
And you look for the girls' side of things, the Lady Cards beat them 64-45 in the opener, but that Spring Hill team is 12-8, so no pushover as well. As still somebody in the Frontier League is trying to get the better of the Cardinals. Will the Broncos be able to do it? It'll be Brendan Bolin to bring you through that one over on Spring Hill Sports Live. Our next call for the time being appears to be the 24th. I need to check with Kara because I'm seeing some different dates, the 24th and maybe the 26th or 27th.
Okay.
But the next game that we will be calling is against Hayden Catholic. So that will be in, I think is that in Eudora?
It
Yes,
is in Eudora.
That'll be a
They
home
swap
game.
back and forth because we were in Hayden last year.
So that will be taking the Topeka Catholic School to Eudora for the season finale. We will be with you for that one. Whenever that exactly is, I think it's on the 24th. Whenever it exactly is, we will be there for that one, and it will be here on Varsity Sports Live. I'm sure Brendan Bolin will communicate when the next Cardinals game is. In fact, I'll make sure to communicate with him so that he knows.
Good deal.
So you can listen into him on the 20th when the Cardinals are back in action. But yeah, that'll do it. So let's also reflect on the girls' game here. The Lady Cards just keep rolling. They've won 9 straight. They look well on their way to a Frontier League title.
Once again.
Yeah. They have been fantastic. It'll be interesting to see them in action against the Spring Hill Broncos to see if somebody can stop the Cards from this Frontier League onslaught that they've done the last 2 years.
And even after that, I circled that Topeka Hayden game for the Lady Cards. That'll be a fun one.
So, yeah, I mean, is there anything to add to either of those performances here before we sign off?
I don't think so. We've got 2 really fun games left on the schedule. Again, we'll communicate the rest of the details of if there's anything additional there, but this is a fun night, and we've got 2 really fun ones left, and we're going to make the most of it.
Yeah, my parting comment on the Lady Cards team would just be Bryn Dieterding seems to be on fire, and that
She's
is
back.
Yeah, that is an exciting prospect for the Cards. She has been an exciting prospect for the Cards for the full time of her Eudora career, and she seems to be back in the big games, double-digit scoring, potentially hitting the 20-point mark. That is where she lived the first 2 years for the Cards. And she seems to be right back in full season form at this point for the Lady Cards. So I expect her to have a strong performance against Spring Hill. That'll be it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Thursday night. We've got one last run of advertisements to run through, but then that will be the end of this. So thank you one more time for tuning in. For Hayden Harves alongside myself, Reed McAvoy, go Cardinals, and good night.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.